Yo, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on?
Just running late to everything.
I know that's the way my whole day has went, really, for the most part. Had to go an extra 40 some miles just to get home.
You know, that sucks.
Yeah, when I drove by the dam and I saw that semi trailer tipped all the way over, I knew it had to have a big roll of steel from a steel plant on there, and then to have both sides of the road blocked. I knew I wasn't getting through, so went all the way down to the next bridge, which sucked, but I made it.
You made it. We're a little late today, but we're still
So
here.
it's all good.
It's all good.
So if anybody is watching this for the first time, please hit the like, the subscribe button, and ring the bell for future notifications. We put out a ton of content, a lot of baseball, football, basketball, NFL, NBA, college. Also, we are now doing baseball cards as well, and we'll be
Sports
talking
cards. Sports
sports cards
cards.
in general, and we'll be doing
Maybe Pokemon cards just for fun.
just for fun. Those will be happening. Also, we've got a line of videos previewing the Indiana basketball newcomers this year that's doing fairly well. And I'd say we got a lot going on. So we have a lot to offer for your YouTube subscription package. But, when I saw today's title on here, the first thing I thought was, what? Tim Tebow to the Jags? What's that all about?
Yeah. So, I didn't realize that you didn't know. It's been a rumor for about couple weeks now. I didn't think it was anything, because I don't even know how old Tim Tebow is now, but I feel like it's been a century since he played football. But yeah, so it hasn't happened yet, but it's supposed to happen tomorrow. Tim Tebow is going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar tight end under Urban Meyer.
Well, I think in order to effectively discuss the potential for his future, I think we must first discuss his past in order to give everybody that may or may not know what he has been through since the year 2006. If you don't mind, I'll
Yeah,
start.
yeah. See, 2006. I thought it. In my mind, it felt like 2012.
So,
But
well, let's just start it out. In 2006, Tim Tebow, or probably, well, no, it'd be 2006, entered the campus of the University of Florida. Um, he had a 3-year run as QB1. He won 2 national championships under Urban Meyer.
yep, that's where this all comes together. It boils down to that at the end of all of this.
So here was the analytics. At that point, Tim Tebow was wowed as a pure playmaker under center, leaving the school. Now get this, as the all-time SEC leader for TD to interception ratio, 5.5 to 1, quarterback rushing yards at almost 3,000, and total scores at 145. He won a Heisman Trophy for 55 touchdowns in 2007, which led to another national championship. Sounds pretty good, right?
I mean, yeah, especially in college, it sounds a lot like Mac Jones now.
So 1 year after the Denver Broncos made the best decision of their life in trading Jay Cutler to the Chicago Bears, Denver made a trade or a big splash in the offseason when it traded up in the first round to take Tim Tebow at number 25 overall. Looked like he had some promise going here. And then Tim Tebow cornered the market in jersey sales as a rookie. So all things are pointing to, whether it be a popular career, it pointed to a decent career coming.
Right.
And at this point, I mean, you knew that he wasn't going to, he was not a year one starter. That wasn't really in the plans. But, I mean, he deserved to get the attention that he got. So, more of he was a gadget guy in the beginning, like they do with a lot of rookie quarterbacks now, and then he replaced Kyle Orton sometime in December. And at that point in time, he looked like a typical college quarterback, which he was doing he was running the ball. He was running more than he was passing. And, in the 3 starts, he got a couple wins, and so here we go. In 2011, he goes back in at the end of that season. He was showing some flashes of being good. He comes back in and replaces Kyle Orton, and he went 7-4 as a starter. And you know what? And then that leads to one of the best playoff games that probably his highlight in the NFL career was winning a playoff game against Pittsburgh. So,
I mean, I feel like that's a highlight for anybody to beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs. To be fair, as much as like you and I, and a handful of our viewers do not like Pittsburgh. Over the past, since as long as I've been alive and watching football, Pittsburgh's always been a fairly tough team in the playoffs. Like, not regular season, yeah, they've been their team. They got to the playoffs, so they were tough enough to get in. But like, just playoff bound, they're always a tough team. They have a lot of Super Bowls, so they're obviously hard to beat in the playoffs. So like, as a young quarterback like that, I think it's a good accomplishment to have for anybody.
So, everything was going fantastic at that point. I mean, he had a winning record as a starter. He had a playoff win. A lot of guys don't ever get that. So at this point, Tim Tebow has done nothing wrong in the NFL. He's only played winning football. He won at Florida, and now he's winning in the NFL. But in the offseason that year, here's what happens. Denver goes all in on Peyton Manning. And which, can you blame them to go all in on a future Hall of Fame quarterback?
No, dude.
Not. So, I mean, so that's where, at that point. And so at that same point, Tim Tebow ends up in the worst place in the NFL. He ends up at the New York Jets, which that's where quarterbacks go to die these days. Honestly, I'm sorry if there's a Jets fan around, but it's he goes there to be Rex, or to go be, as of all people, the most famous fumbler in the history of the NFL.
Mark Sanchez, butt fumble.
He goes there to be a backup quarterback for Mark Sanchez. Now, what could be easier role than that, being a backup for Mark Sanchez? I mean, nothing. So, Mark Sanchez struggled. The fans screamed and yelled for him, and then the Jet staff, they didn't give him the attention he needed as a starter. He did the gadget plays again. A few passes, coming in as a receiver, and he just started 2 games that whole season, threw 8 passes. His biggest headline for the whole season was being a member of the punt team. And I don't think anybody to this day, I'd love to ask Rex Ryan why he wasn't even given an opportunity. So if your coach doesn't play you and nobody, so what do you do? It looks like nobody wants him. So basically the next 2 years he goes unsigned until Bill Belichick gave him a chance to try out. But he played horrible in that preseason. He hadn't been on the NFL. And then the next thing you know, for the most part, he got to try out for the Eagles the next year. That didn't go well. He lost the number 3 quarterback spot to Matt Barkley and off to playing Major League Baseball for 5 years, which I don't really think there's anything worth talking about there, except for the fact that, honestly, his average is mediocre. His home runs are average, and his RBIs are so-so. His career there was not outstanding. So then you come to now in 2021, and all of a sudden he's practicing to be a tight end. And then next thing you know, Urban Meyer is making a deal to have him. So listening to that career, first question that I got is, it doesn't look like he ever did anything really wrong other than after the Jets wouldn't play him. What do you think about, why do you think this is? Honestly, I know there's a lot of speculation about his religious beliefs and whatnot, but the guy he won at every level, unorthodox or not. He won everywhere he went and played. Everywhere he was given a real chance, he won. I don't know. I want to know what you think. I really do, because I have no real idea why you wouldn't give this guy a real opportunity.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like in terms of his talent and what he accomplished, like throughout up until the point he kind of disappeared, which was the baseball era. Um, I just feel like this was more of a him thing. Like at the end of the day, I don't think that he would have been like, "Oh, nobody wants me." I feel like people like I don't know, Jake Luton and all these backup quarterbacks that have been just roaming around the league for however long, he's better than a lot of them, or at least he was then. And so like I just feel like it wasn't anything about like people not wanting him because he had a major fan base. He was huge. People loved him. I went to a friend of mine's graduation the first year he was in the NFL, and everyone was doing the whole like as I walked across the stage, and I was like, this is ridiculous. So many people loved him, Tebow. I mean, I'm a Chiefs fan, so like I did not care when he was in Denver. And then I got even more hurt with Peyton Manning coming to Denver, with Peyton Manning being my all-time favorite quarterback. But I just think this was a thing. His religion came into play, and everyone talked about this. But I feel like this was like one of his like mental like this is a decision he made. Like I really truly don't believe that not one of the 32 teams wanted him.
Yeah, I when you watch it, and I hate to make this comparison, but I I see signs of the Kaepernick thing in there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I that's in the back of my head when you were just talking about his timeline. That was literally what I was thinking of. I mean, I don't care like what you believe in. Like I don't mean that like I just don't care. Like I feel like whatever you believe in is cool. Like that's your thing. And I'm not gonna judge you for what. But the difference between him and Kaepernick was yeah, he did what he believed in, but it was I still feel like it was all for show. Like everything he did, he just wanted the spotlight somehow. And like he just blew it out of proportion. Like everything about the whole Colin Kaepernick thing just made me mad because like he waited until he didn't get what he wanted, basically, and then so he had to make a scene so everybody in the world was looking at him. And it's cool, whatever you believe, sit, stand, lay on your back, whatever you want to do for the freaking national anthem. I don't care because like that's what you want to do. Like, I'm not going to get into your personal beliefs, but like, all right here, like maybe he needed a mental break. I think with Tebow, he wanted to take care of him and, and maybe that was what was best for him. But yeah, Frederick, Tebow's signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars to play tight end.
Yeah, that's the only reason it's being brought up today because, in all honesty,
not every day I just think about Tim Tebow. I was thinking about Tim Tebow a couple months ago when he was in talks, like how he should have played for Bill Belichick and all this stuff because he got brought up like a month or two ago. But, it became more relevant again when I saw a rumor last week. It was just a rumor that he was going to sign as a tight end for Jacksonville Jaguars. And I literally was just laughing. Like I was hysterically laughing at the thought of Tim Tebow coming just to play tight end for a team that went 1-15 last year. And then I just started thinking about it more and more, and it made sense. But like this is the big question that adds to this. Say, Tebow comes back and he's a tight end. He's starting for them, and he's in good shape. He's taking care of himself, and he's playing well. We'll say he's like, maybe not Travis Kelce and George Kittle, but at least, like a good tight end. So put that in perspective and looking at the wide receivers that they have with Chark. I think they have Marvin Jones. And they have Chenault Jr. They've got the Travis whatever from the draft, the running back, and they also have Carlos Hyde, the running back. So all of these weapons, and they got this brand new quarterback. Do you think, these additions are going to change things for, initially I was just like, they're winning one game this year. That's it. I mean, maybe two because of Houston. But where do you think this, just, I don't like the speculation thing, but just assuming that he is taking really good care of his body and he's in really good shape and he's a really good, route runner, receiver, whatever you want in the tight end position, where do you think this puts Jacksonville on the board now?
I don't think it changes anything, regardless of how well he plays or doesn't play. They're in rebuild mode. They're not going to be great this year.
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
listen. They've been in rebuild mode. Do you think Gardner Minshew was like the final puzzle piece to their rebuild? No, they've been doing this, but they have a bunch of receivers that don't have a bunch of names. And Carlos Hyde, he's not bad. They've got this new kid as running back, and they drafted a lot of defense as well. Like not on top of what they already had. Granted, it wasn't great, but just like the Jets last year. Just like most teams that go 0-16, 1-15, 2-14, whatever, they're not bad. I feel like teams that do that, not always, but I feel like a lot of teams that happens to, there's a lot of games they could have won.
Oh yeah, I don't.
mean,
Well, here's the other thing: does Urban Meyer's schemes work in the NFL? I mean,
oh,
Nick Saban's didn't.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to take into account for that as well. But like, I feel like Jacksonville was already on the cusp of winning at least 5 games last year.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I don't think they were. I don't think they were that bad a team. They just had that bad of luck or end of game or not
But
making.
was it the coach or was it the team?
I I still say it was mostly team.
I mean, yeah, they had a backup quarterback and then they had Gardner Minshew, whatever he is.
Yeah, I think they upgraded. Well, here's just the thing. Let's just assume that Blondie is going to be a good NFL quarterback. Let's just assume that he's as good as Joe Burrow. Let's just assume that. I don't know that that's true, but let's just say that he is. He's going to come in. He's going to put them in the position to win games if he can throw the ball halfway effectively. They didn't have anybody to throw the ball effectively last year, so they're already upgraded. Now, if Tim Tebow comes in and runs good routes and is a team player and takes all the scraps that he gets, he might make some headlines as a tight end.
Honestly, though, like I feel like him coming back to the NFL, one, is a statement by itself. He's been out for years. But two, the fact that he didn't come back to the NFL and assume he was going to be a quarterback. Like he willingly just switched positions and was like, I'm not even going to try because that's what I had all my success doing. But he switched positions. I mean, look at Tim Tebow. He already had the build for a tight end. Let's be real. Like he looked more like a tight end than a quarterback anyway. But I don't know. Like I hate saying this because like I still don't think they're gonna do great. I think 4 games, just like Joe Burrow with the Bengals, 4 games is a push. Even though Cincinnati could have won 10 games last year. But okay, so he just brought it up. I was just about to switch over to the Jets. I've been watching. So rookie camps started, and the only one I've been able to watch is the Jets and with Zach Wilson. Look, I don't like Zach Wilson, but I don't like Trevor Lawrence more. So I was watching him. I was watching his interviews. He's kind of a little douchey, but other than that, he's looking good. And I hate talking good about the Jets in any manner because, like, I can never be a Jets fan. I mean, I probably could because I've been a Bengals fan and I'm used to being hurt. But, like, the Jets always do everything wrong all the time. Like, it's like they don't even know how to do things right. But, like I hate saying this, but I feel like they are doing so many right things that it's almost freaking me out. And I was watching their mini camp. I was watching his post mini camp interviews. He's looking good working with this team. Like, I just feel like they are going to actually be fairly competitive this year. And I think they're going to do better than Jacksonville.
I can agree with that. And then the other thing is improvement's not always in wins and losses. It's how well you play the game, how well you grow as a team. Because they don't have to win 6 or 7 games this year for the Jets to have a successful season. I wholeheartedly agree. And I mean the same thing for Jacksonville. But just building towards something and showing improvement throughout the years, all these two teams need to accomplish this year. And you know what? Same thing for the Bengals. I think they need to show improvement from last year. I think it's the same thing. I think they just need to get a little bit better. A little bit better, and Cincinnati may win 10 games. I don't know that that's going to happen, but it could. But yeah, I think the Jets, if they improve and start looking like a real football team again, then there's a higher ceiling next season.
You have no idea what the last 50 years have been like. Namath won for us when I was like 6 years old. Oh yeah, well I was like negative a lot of years old when that happened. But I'm not saying the Jets are always bad. I'm just saying as long as I've been alive, the Jets have been bad. I think the best the Jets have ever done in my eyes was Mark Sanchez.
Frederick, I gotta say that it's been a long time since the Jets have had the right guy under center. Do you think that this is the right guy for them?
Yeah. I didn't realize that he was a Jets fan, and so no judgment to the Jets fans. Like I am, like out of the draft and the free agency, I am the most impressed with the Jets. I have talked the most highly of the Jets over any other team, obviously other than Kansas City, because they freaking put a stone wall in front of Patrick Mahomes, and I'm here for it. But I am so impressed with the Jets. Like it's almost scary. Like I'm so happy for them. Like they are actually, in my mind, doing everything right. Like they haven't done anything wrong yet. And I like the pickup at head coach with Robert Saleh. And I also saw that Richard Sherman wants to play for the Jets because their Super Bowl team with the 49ers, he played for Robert Saleh. And I think Richard Sherman could really improve that defense, even though they've already really improved every aspect of their team. There's no way they can take the division this year. I'm not even going to say there's a way for them to get to the playoffs this year because of the level of competition. You have to win at least 10 games to get in the playoffs now. But I'm saying, I think they are going to be competitive. I think they are going to be a team to look out for in the next 5 years if they don't if they don't kill their quarterback and they can keep him good, they can keep him happy, and they can continue to build. They picked up a lot of offensive line, so I feel good about Zach Wilson's future in terms of injuries. They have a decent wide receiver class. They picked up what's his face, the first pick in round 2.
Ole Miss guy.
Yeah.
God.
I don't know. It just slipped, but I think they're doing everything right. I love how they drafted. I loved how they handled free agency. I'm not saying I agreed with the Sam Darnold trade, but I do think everything is going in the right direction for them, and I can't say that for every team that was in the bottom this year. I didn't get to see all of it. And I was just talking about this yesterday, but they were doing the early MLB. I said that yesterday too, but the NFL power rankings, and they had Detroit at 32. And they had Houston at 31, so that automatically puts Jacksonville and New York out of the bottom 2. But they also had the Bengals at 29, which I didn't agree with.
Elijah Moore is their wide receiver from Ole Miss.
That's the guy, yeah.
And he would have got an A ranking if it weren't that he was under 6 foot.
Which was a lot of issues for a lot of receivers in this draft. At this point, it's hard to even, most of the big name receivers were under 6 foot in this draft. So they were 5'11". But
yeah.
But that's okay, Frederick. I also like 2 teams. I like the Chiefs and the Bengals. So it's perfectly fine to like more than one team. When you have a team that is bad, like the Bengals, you need someone else.
That's the story of our whole life.
What do you think of the Pats? I think that got a mediocre ranking. Yeah, I really do think I think Mac Jones is a walking dumpster fire, but I think the only coach in the NFL as of right now that can coach him and make him good is Bill Belichick. So I think he is in good hands. If he would have went number 3 to the 49ers, that would have been the end of his career right there. But I like Cam Newton. I like they re-signed him a year, and he's most likely going to be their starter at week 1 for at least this year, at least half the year, maybe the whole year, depending on how he does. I like everything they've done. They're right there with the Jets for me, but I comparing the Jets and the Patriots are really hard for me because the Patriots are just coming off a 20-year dynasty team, so everything is rebuild for them. They don't have Tom Brady anymore, but they made so many good picks. They got Nelson Aguilar. They got a couple running backs. They have two. I think they have the best tight end class. In the league now with Matthew Judon, Hunter Henry. I don't know. I think that they're gonna bounce back from only having like 4 touchdowns all year last year, and like passing touchdowns. That is like I think they're gonna bounce back. I think they're gonna win at least 8 games. I think that Tampa Bay is going to come into New England thinking they're going to run the table on them, and they're going to get their ass kicked. Yeah, see, I feel like Bill Belichick purposely took this year as letting it be bad. Half of their starters opted out or left, and they needed a quarterback. Cam Newton came in. They have one of the harder playbooks in the league, and so I think that was where a lot of his struggles came from. And, every time a quarterback shows up in a new team and starts playing, it's like a rookie season all over again. His best wide receiver was Jacoby Myers. And I feel like, when you it's kind of like the Steelers with Juju, how he's their number 1 receiver, and he's just not a number 1 receiver. So they didn't have a receiving class. That's how it was for New England last year. They had Jacoby Myers. That was it. I mean, they had Edelman, but he's been battling with injuries, so he was not that useful. I think they're going to have a quick turnaround. I feel like Belichick knew that was going to happen. He straight up said they didn't have money to make in-season adjustments last year because they had to wait until this year. And I think everything they did was right. I can't argue with Bill Belichick's logic and everything he does. The dude's got however many rings he's the smartest coach in the league by far. So I feel like they're gonna do fine.
That's gonna be a really
that's the most interesting division in the AFC this year by far. I don't know. It's hard because we're AFC North fans, and with Pittsburgh going down and Baltimore falling down, this is going to be a really fun year for me in that division as well. But I think being I am not a diehard of any team in the AFC East. I think that's going to be my favorite team to watch just to enjoy, not to stress about my team doing something, just to enjoy.
The other thing that out of the NFL that I wanted to discuss today was Eric Fisher getting a 1-year deal in Indy.
I woke up to that. I have this friend at work who's a diehard Colts fan, and he is older than I am, so he's seen even more heartbreak than I have over there. He had to see pre-Peyton Manning. So he when the Chiefs released Fish and Schwartz the same day a couple months ago, he just looked at me and he said, "God, I hope they come to Indy." And I said, honestly, I hope Fish goes to Cincy. Schwartz isn't going anywhere. If he doesn't play for the Chiefs, he's not playing. He has a house in Kansas City. He said he's not moving. He's not leaving the city. He loves it there. So you can rule Schwartz out. But I was like, dude, you have Quentin Nelson. You don't need Fish. And look at this. We wake up today and they're giving him $9 million. He's coming off that Achilles injury. Who knows if he'll even play week 1. But he got Fish. And I haven't talked to him yet. But I know he's probably freaking ecstatic, dude. because, like, I mean, he's been in the league since 13. He was a number one overall pick, and he's the reason the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl this year. He made or break that offensive line. Will the NFL regain their audience, or will politics still be a factor? I mean, the way that this country is going, they have to have politics and everything. So, yeah, it will still be a factor. I'm just hoping it won't be as big of a factor, being that we're kind of getting back to normal. Like, Arrowhead today announced that they're expecting full capacity. I'm excited. There's a lot of teams. I mean, the Chargers don't have to announce full capacity because they'll never get that anyway. But you know, other than the Chargers, everyone else should go back to normal in Cincinnati. But I don't know. I stay out of politics, and I get mad when politics get brought into sports. Like, it really, really bothers me. Like, those are two different things. I don't care if you want to use your platform for good, but don't bring it to the field. That's all I have to say about that, because, like, I get so mad about politics mixing with sports.
We missed one. Well, we didn't miss. We actually discussed it a little for just a split second. But going back to Tebow in Jacksonville, Urban Meyer did not hesitate to go out and get the. I mean, I know that. Look, he's not going to get a big contract. It's not going to be anything like that. He's going to be a role player at best if he makes the team at all. I mean, that's a fair assessment. He's still got to make the team. But here's the thing. That guy on your roster, he may not be a big, huge contributor on the field, but where he has a lot of clout with people is in the locker room, is another coach-like presence on the team. Do you think that Urban Meyer is looking for some leadership amongst the players, and that's why he grabbed Tebow?
This is going to be like one of the only times I'll openly admit that I agree with Mark. I think leadership in the locker room is so important. And that is one of, like, the many reasons I love the Kansas City Chiefs. Every one of their guys, step up, and, like, it doesn't have to be your team captain. It's just got to be somebody, to step up, especially for the young guys, to tell them, if they make a mistake, don't let it be the end of their career. They can just turn around and bounce back from it. And, Tebow has been through it all. And he was a motivational speaker at one point in his career post NFL. So I feel like he is an excellent person to, even if he never steps foot on the field, just to be there for the young guys, like Trevor Lawrence. Like, he was a quarterback. He knows the position. He knows how to win in the league. I feel like this was a move that he had planned, Urban Meyer, when he knew he was getting the number one draft pick and getting a quarterback that maybe isn't quite NFL ready, but doesn't have a choice. They don't have anyone else. So he's gonna be like the equivalent to the quarterback's coach, but still be able to be on the field if need be.
If that guy, here's the one thing that I'll say about this, and it's going to make their preseason more interesting to see what happens. If he gets out there and competes and does well, he, if he earns the respect of every other player on that team, along with whether he's going to be a starter or not, I doubt. But if he earns the respect of everybody, that's a strong presence. That's a winning presence in your locker room. And I bet you if they do anything good at all this year, them guys are going to thank him, because that is what he brings to the table.
Well, the thing is like, they don't really have anyone at the tight end position. I mean, they have Eifert, I think, but I think he went to be a free agent and they didn't re-sign him. And they got some dude, Tyler Davis, and there was one other guy, Chris Manhertz. I don't even know those names. And the tight end position is my favorite position in the league on the offensive side. I don't even know who that is. So I feel like if he comes out and competes, unless they go and grab someone else in the free agents, so we still got a couple months left. Unless they go and grab someone else, they don't have anyone.
Yeah, I mean, the first pick in the 5th round, they drafted the tight end Luke Farrell from Ohio State. Go figure, another Ohio State Buckeye. But he is definitely tight end size, 6'5", 251. But other than that, I don't know that there's. I'm trying to get to it now. I don't think there's one on their roster.
No, because Eifert went into free agent, and he's the only tight end I knew that for a fact they had last year.
There we go. I got the roster up. Tight ends, they got Tyler Davis out of Georgia Tech, 2nd year. Tyler Eifert is still on the roster.
I feel like he went free agent, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what it's showing me on here. And you're right. James O'Shaughnessy, Chris Manhertz.
Yeah. See, those are the ones I saw on there. I looked up their current roster, and it just said the Davis kid and the Manhertz. Those were the only 2 that showed up.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, you keep 3 tight ends on your roster. So with that being said, there's a pretty good chance he makes the team, I would say.
They're signing him either way, whether he makes a team or not. They're signing him tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, they can still cut him, but I mean, he could still end up on the practice squad if nothing else.
I just feel like this was a pawn in his long term. I feel like he knew he was going to try to get in the NFL. Like, you don't just wake up and be like, okay, I'm going to go be an NFL head coach. Like, he had to have planned some of this. Like, this is what Belichick does. He's planning for this year years ago. The day that Brady turned 40, he started planning for this. Like, he knew what he was going to do. And I feel like, I'm not giving Urban Meyer Bill Belichick level credit. I just can't. Like, he's not been in the NFL and proved to me that he could do that. So he hasn't earned my respect in that aspect. But I'm not saying he hasn't had success before in managing a team. So I feel like this was one of those pieces in the puzzle that he had been thinking about for a while. I feel like this kid's going to be on their roster. Or I can't even say this kid. This man is going to be on their roster. Whether he plays or not, he's going to be on the sideline with them every single game, right next to Trevor Lawrence and whoever their backup ends up being, whether it's Minshew or not. He's going to be right in between those 2 guys, talking them through every play that their defense is on the field.
That's a great question.
That is a great question. I'm definitely more towards the pro side. I love the NFL so much, despite all the dumb shit that happens. I love the NFL, but here in the last couple years, I have been watching a lot of college football, and because of my dad, I've watched college basketball my whole life. But college football is relatively new to me, but I'm working through it. I've only had a good 2 or 3 years under my belt.
Oh, well, I know this year, as far as college football, game day Saturday goes, I'm going to watch this head coach at the University of Indiana, Tom Allen, who I've been talking about in here a little bit. He has really turned that non-winning program around. I never talked college football. We were talking about having a team that you liked, but because they were bad, so you had to find another team to cheer for that had a chance to win. Growing up, most of my life, I loved all Indiana sports, but they never had a football team, so I always rooted for Florida State in college football.
Same.
It's just that was the team I picked. I liked everything about them when I was a kid, and that's who I rooted for in college football my whole life. But secretly, my Indiana Hoosiers are going to be they were a better team this last year. They just about beat Ohio State, almost won the Big Ten. And this is and then they ended up finishing the season on a backup quarterback who actually almost won them a bowl game. I think they're going to be when Michael Penix gets back, their star quarterback, I think they're going to be something to be reckoned with. Maybe not this year.
I mean, they didn't lose very much in the draft either. If anybody, I don't remember seeing any IU boys.
One guy got drafted. I don't remember which one either. I think it was a wide receiver or a tight end. But
yeah, so most of their team's going to be back.
But anyway, there's something that's going to watch. They're going to give Ohio State some grief this year in the Big Ten. They gave it to them last year for sure. But anywho, we were getting to the point about that, and I like bowl games too, and I do prefer the NFL over college. I don't know why, I just do. going forward. You know,
But if we're talking like all sports, I don't want to say pro in all sports. Like baseball, definitely pro. Me and Shelby watched the University of Kentucky and Tennessee baseball game last night, and it was literally the worst thing I ever watched. I mean, I don't know how the University of Kentucky just got so bad this past year. Like everything got so bad. These kids, like, I don't even know how they're on the team. Like, they didn't even know how to play baseball. Like, that's what it felt like. And Tennessee was just running a train on them. I cannot watch non-professional baseball. I just can't do it.
yeah, I'll get down and I'll watch some of the College World Series when they go out to Omaha and play.
Yeah, oh, tournament settings in any kind of sport, I will watch.
But
just regular season, no. Mm-mm.
Now, if you want to talk basketball, I'm full college. I despise this. You got to have a star player in the NBA thing. Which is why I like watching the New York Knicks this year, because they play team basketball. There is no one.
Speaking of the New York Knicks, did you watch their game yesterday?
I seen these a little bits and pieces of it, and your damn camera's doing that thing again. That's the only thing I don't like about this camera. Every now and again, it does this.
I'll just be fuzzy for a minute.
Grab your cam settings and change the 720p to whatever. Change it one time and then change it back, and it'll fix.
I just went black.
There you go.
All right, back to the low res.
But yeah, and I know that we didn't really get into discussing this because we really didn't. You kind of shrugged it off, but I heard it again on a national broadcast this morning when I was driving to work.
Oh, we're going to Cleveland now?
We're going to Cleveland because I think it's a very interesting scenario. And although they haven't provided Green Bay with evidently enough to make the deal happen or try to make the deal happen, they are trying to be in the running in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. And
this is why I have the issue with the Cleveland and Aaron Rodgers trade. Like, look, I don't like Baker Mayfield because of his attitude. It's not because of his playing skills. Well, I got two reasons for not liking Baker. He's a little. I mean, Joe Burrow is gonna be the same way if he starts winning games, because he'll be turning the franchise around just like Baker. So it's gonna be the same thing. So I don't know. Something about his personality pisses me off, but I don't think he's bad at football. Like, I think he is actually doing well. I mean, and my number two, I skipped over that, is he is literally trash in Madden. Every time I play with him, it doesn't matter. He can't throw on the run. He can't do nothing. And so that's irrelevant to him. That's just Madden. But, he is 24, I believe, 25 at the oldest right now. And he has done so much with their team. They're building such a good team. They've finally got a competent head coach. Freddie Kitchens was not the answer. That dude was an idiot. And so in my mind, why would you want to, because the only way that trade would happen, Baker would have to be included in it. There's nothing else they could give up. Because they obviously do not believe in Jordan Love. Like, they might, but they're not acting like it. So if anybody trades for Rodgers, there's going to be a quarterback that goes with him. So that means Baker would have to be included in that trade. Why would you give up your 24, 25-year-old who's actually helping you turn your franchise around for someone who's got maybe 3 years left in the league at the most? Like, why? That doesn't make sense to me.
Because it's an upgrade and gives them the opportunity to win now.
Yeah, well, they are already winning now. They're going to take the division this year with Baker or Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't matter at this point. They're going to take the division this year.
I mean, I see, and for the other two teams that are actually, ready to throw in the kitchen sink for him, I see the upside. But as far as Green Bay goes, send Rodgers. That's, I'm surprised that hasn't been talked about, honestly, Shelby. But,
I mean, they got Carson Wentz for basically free if he doesn't perform. So,
and they don't want, and the ownership in Indianapolis does not want to put out that kind of money for that kind of a publicity nightmare, because Aaron Rodgers is a publicity nightmare. Look what he's done to Green Bay this year. I mean,
I mean,
all that.
granted, I think he is whiny and annoying and selfish. Like those are the three words I'm going to use to describe Aaron Rodgers for the rest of his career. But despite that, I don't think all of what's happening right now is his fault.
No,
Yes, he did say he wanted out right as he lost that game to Tampa Bay. That was the only time he actually said it. And the shit that happened 3 hours before the draft started was not him. Literally, all of that happened because of somebody else that wanted to start shit and blow this out of proportion. Because it turned out they dug into it. None of that shit happened. So at this point, it's not him anymore. And that's what I'm saying. I do not like Baker Mayfield, but I do like Baker Mayfield for Cleveland.
fair. That's fair.
There is no reason to get rid of him because he's only on his 5th year and he has progressed every single year. And this year, he was still progressing and dealing with injury almost the entire season. He had broken ribs and another injury throughout the season, and they still won, 10 games? Like, no, there's no reason to get rid of him. I mean, if you want to trade, like OBJ, because you want to look at the stars on their team, he is right there next to Baker. Yeah, trade him. Those two don't get along well enough. Get rid of him. You can get value out of him despite him coming back from an injury. It's still him. So go get you something good for him, Cleveland. I think this will be the biggest mistake they make under Kevin Stefanski by taking Aaron Rodgers.
But here the only thing is that that Stefanski was probably glad to get out of that division and get away from him. Kirk Cousins, I think, has always been a mediocre quarterback. I don't like him.
I mean, he can't win on Monday night. This year was his first year. I don't hate Kirk Cousins, but I considered him right next to like Jimmy G.
Yeah, and that you're right. You're hitting on that mid-range quarterback that can have a few good games during the season, that can help you win a few games. May not turn the ball over so much, but
Thank you, dude. This is what I've been saying. I like OBJ, but I liked OBJ under Eli Manning and no time else. The only thing I like about OBJ right now is at least he's got a cool color rush uniform, like in Cleveland. I do not like OBJ there, and I've been saying, and a lot of Browns fans love it because of who he is. Yeah, he played under Eli Manning, and yeah, he got his reputation there. Yeah, he's got the one-handed catch. But if he can't get along with your franchise quarterback, why do you want him so bad? There's no chemistry there. It's just like Cincinnati, AJ Green, and Joe Burrow. There was no chemistry there. I am happy he's gone. I didn't want him to go because he's been there for 10 years, but I'm happy for him to get to go play with someone else.
Yeah, but let's please just not compare the personality of AJ Green to OBJ, though.
No, I'm not comparing personalities. I'm comparing the level of play currently. They both got new quarterbacks, and they both can't play for them.
Oh, and then that was the thing. I mean, Joe Burrow knew that he was going to be gone, so therefore Joe Burrow worked on his relationships with his other two guys, with T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. I mean, he worked on those relationships. You know what? If he would have worked on his relationship with AJ Green, they might have found common ground and kept him. But they didn't.
AJ was on his way out before Burrow got there. Let's be real.
Well, it because of the injury, but
because of the injury, not because of him.
Yeah, I just think that as far as his act goes, OBJ is a lot like some of them guys that like Antonio Brown. He's got that type of personality, and OBJ.
Talk about a guy I can't stand. Well, that dude's a psychopath.
but Frederick's got it absolutely correct. OBJ is poison. AJ Green was a team player and a professional that normally kept his mouth shut. If they hadn't had a camera on him during his sideline rant, you might not have ever known that he said a foul thing about anybody. I think he's going to do well in Arizona this year, and I still think that might be the best team in the West.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I mean, other than the Rams with Matt Stafford and their defense, I'm looking forward to – that's my NFC division I'm looking forward to. Although – this Green Bay, Chicago, all of this stuff going on is drawing my eye to it a little bit. I want to see how Chicago plays out now.
I think Chicago. I think if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, I think Chicago can win that division without playing their rookie quarterback.
Oh yeah, he's not playing until the earliest week 7.
I,
But I think they can win the division.
if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, I think that's got to be your favorite to win the division. I don't think Minnesota's gonna. I just think that they're still in struggle mode. I still think that Minnesota has to find a replacement for Stefanski that works.
Yeah. I mean, let's see though. Like, let's talk about Detroit for a minute. We don't really talk about them that much, except for when we first started the channel. We needed something to talk about, and the big thing that happened when we started this channel was the Jared Goff Matt Stafford trade, which was big news. That's still big news to me because I think it's freaking hilarious because I hate Jared Goff. Like, ship him to Detroit. He went and lived a good life in LA. Now he's got to go spend it in Detroit, where it's probably gonna be the rest of his career. They were talking. They were talking about Jared Goff and how he is getting a boost of confidence and feeling good about this team now because they didn't draft a quarterback. And I'm like, look at the Detroit Lions record and for their entire lifetime of their team.
But I want to say this. You talk about Detroit, and Jared Goff is stoked to be there. I guess he's stoked that he's going to get to start and play. And get to play on a weekly basis. He's going to get this year. But Detroit fans, let me tell you something about Detroit fans. They are just as freaking ruthless as New York fans. They're just
Browns.
Just as and here's the thing. Detroit couldn't win games with a very good quarterback. Matt Stafford is just one step away from being an elite type of quarterback. And he's never had an offensive line. He's had some receivers.
Look at the guys who went through Detroit and their careers cut short. Like Megatron, dude.
He retired because he knew that he couldn't win there.
And he was loyal to the team. Barry Sanders, dude. He's the one dude that deserved a ring more than most team or players that never got a ring. Most Hall of Famers that never got a ring. He's one of the most deserving. And on an upside, real quick, Cincinnati game just started. They're playing the Pirates. They're up 1-0 in the second. Suarez hit a home run.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Positive note, just a little sidetrack. I'll keep some updates. I don't have in-game updates, but I'll have the score updates as we go through this. But go ahead. Sorry. Suarez hit a home run. That's big news to me.
Heck yeah. Well, that's a divisional game for Cincinnati, and that's what we want to see. We want to win the divisional games. But back to that is that Matt Stafford is truly a professional. I think the Rams and the Cardinals, it's going to be such great games. I can't wait to watch them this fall. I've never been so jacked for an NFL season.
I've literally never been so jacked for NFC teams. I don't like the NFC. I never have my whole life. I followed the AFC teams. The Colts, the Chiefs, the Bengals. I've watched the Patriots win for the last 20 years. All of my life, I just, I watched Drew Brees. Obviously. He's been close to my heart. My uncle is a huge Saints fan, and he used to laugh at me for liking Peyton Manning and making fun of me and all this stuff because, Peyton Manning is a Hall of Famer in my mind. He's the best quarterback to ever walk the earth, even if he doesn't have all the stats and rings to show for it. I'm not going to argue it like that. In my mind, my opinion, personal opinion, Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback to ever step on the field. But he look at him. He was similar to Andrew Luck. He had a star team, and he didn't. There was not things were just different in the league than they are now. If Peyton Manning would play in the league now with an offensive line, he'd have more rings than Brady. I'm just saying, he's got the arm, and if he had the talent, but the way the game was played now, all of his teams then played now, but maybe a better offensive line, the dude would have more rings than Brady.
I was just looking at Matt Stafford a little bit, and his season in Detroit in 2020. Do you realize he got sacked 38 times. 2019, he only made it 8 games and was sacked 18 times. And then in 2018, he played all 16 games and got sacked 40 times. 2016, he got sacked 47 times. He's been sacked over 40 times over 4 years in his career, and over 30 another 3 on top of that. He has been pummeled. Detroit has never had an offensive line to protect him. But yet there's years in there where he's got 4,400, 4,300, 4,900. He's threw over 5,000 yards one season.
And what was his record that year?
I can't see the team. Oh, yeah, I can. No, that's the fumbles. Doesn't show the records those years. I'm just looking at his career stats. But he's had career years. I mean, he's had really good years, but the only thing marring those seasons is the amount of times he got sacked. I mean, he threw for 4,500 yards in 2017. He had a QB rating of 99.3. He completed.
Do you know what year that he threw for 4,900 yards?
2012.
2012. I just have to see this record. He went 4-12.
In 2011, he threw for 5,000 yards that year.
And he went 10-6 and came second in the NFC North and lost in the wild card.
2017, 4,400 yards.
He came second, 9-7. All of these years were under Jim Caldwell.
And he was sacked 47 times. If you cut that sack number in half and give him 20 more pass attempts,
give him 2 more seconds per play, or just 1 more second per play.
Yeah. So let's see. So he's about 33 years old. He's probably got to Frederick's point a little bit ago that, he a year or two younger. He's got about 2 to 3 years
at least
to really make his mark in the NFL. I don't know what his contract looks like.
They didn't change his contract, so whatever he had in Detroit, it's staying in Los Angeles.
But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. And you know what? I wonder real fast. I will look at it. I'm just curious to how many times Jared Goff hit the floor last time.
I mean, their offensive line is not as good as their defensive line. I'm not saying it's bad, but I feel like I saw Jared Goff on the ground a lot this past year, and he broke his thumb.
But at the same time.
I mean, it wasn't like Carson Wentz or Joe Burrow. Carson Wentz only played half the season, and he led the whole number of sacks the whole year last year.
I just think of how bad them seasons would have been in Detroit without Matt Stafford.
The Reds game is now 1-1, bottom of the second.
So, the number one landing spot for Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be Denver. I mean,
in my mind, if he does go anywhere else, if he doesn't retire and he doesn't stay in Green Bay, there's nothing changing my mind saying that Denver is where he'll be.
I heard something great, and I don't remember which channel I was listening to this morning, but I think it was Mad Dog Sports. And a caller called in, a Las Vegas fan called in and said, "Hey, I got a great plan here. Let's trade our next 5 number 1 draft picks for Aaron Rodgers." And they're like, "Wait, what do you mean?" He says, "Hear me out." He says, "Stop, hear me out a second. We should trade our next 5 number 1s for Aaron Rodgers because what have we gotten for our number 1 draft picks the last 5 years anyway?"
Okay, that just made it any better. Like, the fact that it came from an actual fan.
Yeah.
That makes it better because, seriously, they screw up their first-round draft pick every single year.
And that was his point. He said they screw up the draft, so why not take something that is that you can give up as many picks as you want because we're not getting shit for those anyway. That was his point. And they rolled and laughed and they joked about it for a few minutes, but the guy was kind of right. It's
so he must be a long-term Raiders fan. Well, I'm not going to say anything about the loyalty with that team because they've moved quite a few times and all their teams or all their fans follow them everywhere. So he must be a realist, like a loyal realist, because a lot of his Raiders teams will tell you that they do no wrong. And
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, your team, like, literally, you guys are a bunch of idiots. Like, seriously.
yeah. I'm not really. I really. I still think that next to that I think San Diego is going to be good this year, and I
Los
think
Angeles.
like yeah, I keep saying that. God, I can't get over that. Los Angeles and the Chiefs are really going to be good in the West.
I feel like I really, really, truly wanted. I even got a photoshopped picture of the 4 AFC West quarterbacks: Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. I wanted that so bad. Deshaun to Denver, Russell to Las Vegas. I wanted that more than anything. Like, that would have been such a competitive and fun division to watch.
And back to our earlier conversation, and I know it looks like that Deshaun Watson is not going to be playing at the start of this season, regardless. But do you think has there been any progression in his case down there at all? Because I haven't heard any news lately.
So the crazy thing about that is another reason why I think this has been a Houston ploy all along. Is I feel like it all got swept under the rug, but it's not progressing. No one's talking about it anymore, but it's like it's at a standstill. It's stagnant. There's no positive moving forward. There's no negative moving backward. It's just gone. So I have no idea. I really would like to know what's going on with it, but I just don't. Did you ever see the clip in a face-to-face interview where sportscaster Rome calls Rams quarterback Jim Everett Chris Everett referring to the female tennis player after Jim dared him not to do it? No, but that's so funny.
I'm looking it up right now, but that Jim Rome is one of my favorite guys ever because he has a really no bullshit approach to sports commentary. Have you ever watched him, Boo?
I'm sure I have because the name is very, very familiar to me. Updates. I'm looking up the Deshaun Watson updates right now to make sure that I just said that it was a standstill and nothing happening, but I'm going to make sure that's okay. So the last thing I see was oh wait, this was 1 hour ago. Let me check that out.
So,
Jim, good to have you on the show.
Good to be here, Jim. Thank you.
Shit.
yep, I want to see this because that seems like one of the best things ever. So, let's see. La-di-da-di. I don't want to get that thing down.
Oh, Dad, take the okay, never mind.
Good to have you on the show.
Good to be here, Jim. Thank you.
Check that. Chris Everett, good to have you on the show.
You know what? You've been calling me that for about the last 5 years.
About 2 years, actually, Chris.
Well, hey, let me say one thing. In that game, how many sacks did I have that we came back and won?
How many sacks did you
How
have?
many sacks?
Let's see, but this was back in 1989.
Okay, that was about
You may have even been Jim Everett back there, but somewhere along the way, Jim, you ceased being Jim and you became Chris.
Well, let me tell you a little secret. That we're sitting here right now, and if you guys want to take a station break, you can. But if you call me Chris Everett to my face one more time,
I already did it twice.
You better. If you call it one more time, we better take a station break.
Well, it's a 5-minute segment, or a 5-segment show. We got a long way to go.
Well, we do.
We got a long way to go.
We do.
I'll get a couple segments out of
Well,
you
it's
before.
good to be here with you, though.
Well, it's good to see you
because
too.
you've been talking like this behind my back for a long time.
But now I said it right here.
Right. Exactly.
Well, we got no problem
Well,
with that.
I think that you probably won't say it again.
I bet I do.
Okay.
Chris?
When the dust had settled, Rome continued with the show minus Everett. For his part, Everett apologized, saying the frustrations of his time in Los Angeles came to a head with the repeated taunts of his host, and he lost it.
That's awesome.
Yep, that is pretty good. Jim Rome, that's why I like the guy. He was just a young kid there, man. He hadn't even really developed yet. That was well worth the price of admission.
Okay, so on the Deshaun Watson thing, this headline says Deshaun Watson's legal case is quieting down. Okay, I feel like that word is not correct. But anyway, but it says, what does this mean for all involved parties? It says, This was May 9th, so yesterday. It says, we have not heard anything about Deshaun Watson's legal battles over the last 2 weeks. The Houston Texans quarterback is currently being accused by 22 women, mostly massage therapists, of inappropriate behavior. His case has been making headlines this entire offseason shortly after he expressed his interest in being traded. Shocker. But anyway, it says that him and his attorney have dealt with public scrutiny initiated by opposing attorney, that lawyer that's not even a real lawyer, the Busby dude. It says both sides were constant with their disapproval of the other side using social media and Zoom court hearings as their platform. On Thursday, April 22nd, 2021, there was an in-person hearing about the case, and it was the first time both sides were in the same location. Since that court hearing, neither side has said anything about the case. There's literally nothing.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They're not going to come out and say anything because he feels like he really doesn't have to. And the only way any news would come out is if it was against him. So it says to me either people are just trying to negotiate for a settlement, which they may or may not get, depending upon if he makes them shut their mouths, which that's a win for him at the end of the day. But that's telling me that it looks like he's right.
Yeah, it said like perhaps there are settlements happening behind the scenes. This is just an assumption, but is the typical outcome when new information is no longer coming out in an active case. But it says another possibility is that the number of defendants may be changing. The judge declared weeks ago that the identities of the accusers could be made public. At that time, one accuser did drop her claim, but one could believe that perhaps more accusers are thinking about dropping their claims as well. So so the courts are not forcing them to be quiet. What happened is Deshaun Watson and his lawyer are keeping their mouths shut. There's nothing new coming against them, which is helping his side of the case. And so either A, people are backing out and it hasn't been confirmed yet, or B, they are offering settlements and, it's getting taken care of, but it's behind the scenes and nothing can be said until it's finalized. So like Dad said, unless there are either more accusers or more news against Deshaun Watson, we're not going to hear anything until it's done, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a sad story, whether it's true and he did whatever these women said he did, or that it was Houston's ploy against him. Either way, I don't enjoy this because, one, he is a young talent that could go really far in the league, as in being one of the higher talents. Like, I put him up next to Patrick Mahomes last year. Either way, he's a great career that's either going to get ruined because Houston's trying to ruin it or because he's an idiot, one of the two. And, that's why this whole time I have not taken a side. But if I had to guess, because of the timing of all of this, it has to be Houston's doing. Like, I apologize in advance if it comes out to be true, he did all these things. But, like, from my perspective, watching this case unfold, it doesn't seem real because every single woman had the exact same story, word for word. And the first one that came out was the new head coach's personal assistant. Like, why was Deshaun Watson hanging out with the new head coach's personal assistant? Like, unless, he was trying to convince him to stay, and sent this girl in. I don't know. But either way, like, it all seems so fishy to me that it can't be real in my mind. But, we've seen worse things and more similar things happen in the past. So I cannot take a side, but if I had to and someone asked me, I would tell you I think it's all bullshit.
So let's put this one. I'll put a comment to that, and we can go on to something else. But my comment is it's not like Houston sports organizations have been reputable in years past anyway. Astros.
Yeah, I don't think the Houston Texans will be a team in 5 years.
They'll probably end up somewhere. Well, they got enough following there that they might be able to keep them. But if this turns out to be, if this goes away, and this is nothing, I bet you Deshaun Watson ends up suing the organization for defamation. because this could ruin his career. This could Colin Kaepernick him.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like it's happening.
I mean, that's god awful because Deshaun Watson, I think he's a professional.
I do too. I agree completely. San Antonio needs a football team. Yeah, I mean, they have the Spurs, but other than that, I don't know of any other team with a big enough following for me to have ever heard about them. So I think they might have a hockey team that I just I'm actually that's totally made up. I don't know that that's true, but um yeah, I think I don't know. I don't like talking about this situation, especially, on any kind of platform like this because like just like the Colin Kaepernick thing, I did not speak on it for years until it had at least cleared up a little bit because I didn't enjoy it. I didn't want my opinion to be thrown out there because opinions get skewed really quickly. So, uh, yeah, I don't like talking about it, and I do not love talking about it because like it looks like I just like I feel bad for the women if this happened, and I don't want this to happen to any woman or man, like the sexual assault and whatever, I hate that for anybody who's ever been through it. And so like I will continue to apologize if it ends up being true, but it's just every single day this when new things were coming out about this case, it seemed less and less likely to be true.
And,
I mean, like, listen, he wants out of Houston, and then all of a sudden, 22 allegations come up against him. Literally, the second he says that, when these were from years back, apparently. And why didn't anyone say anything then when he got his big contract or when he made it to the playoffs? Because people like to plan these things that basically, if someone does something bad to you, they wait until they're in a good spot in their life to ruin it and bring it up. That's what happens. I mean, granted, it takes time for people to speak up, but if they all had the same like stories and same scenarios, you'd think it would have come up sooner.
I'm always a big advocate of generally where there's smoke, there's fire, and but this is the one time in any of these types of allegations because generally I defend the female till the end.
100%. Every time if there's a sexual assault charge with a man against a woman, I will take the woman's side every single time. But this has been the first time that I have not been certain that I believe any of those women.
And that's really feels bad to say that. I mean, it really feels bad to have that opinion. And I know that we share pretty much the same opinion because timing was really strange. They don't want him out. He wanted out. And then all of a sudden these things just started coming up, and it came up in a flurry. And the next thing you know, it was all these women. And then you hear all these different things about it, from what you see in the media. God knows that can always be false too. They're portraying a certain story and there's sympathy there. And I hope, like I said, I hope it turns out to all be false. And if anything ever happened to any of those girls, I'm sorry for what I just said, but it looks to be like it was like set up. And I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but if there's some truth to it, it's not what we think it is.
Yeah. I mean, if it did happen, I would say maybe one woman, one time. Because obviously, based on the stories I read and how these women reacted to him, he literally apologized. Like they even said he apologized to them. Like so, and a lot of the women said that according to these stories that you hear and because I followed the case hard because I like Deshaun Watson. And I also have a lot of respect for him. And it could have been any other quarterback, and I might have had a better chance of believing it. Like me and Shelby talked about it. If it were Joe Burrow, I would have believed it more. That's what she brought Joe Burrow up, and it made sense. It didn't make sense when she said it, but it makes sense now. I would have believed that story more if it was Joe Burrow over Deshaun Watson. But Deshaun Watson is just such a good dude. Like, everything he does is not for himself. And I don't know. I don't like talking about it, but whatever happens, happens. You know, like, I'm surprised we haven't heard some shit about Aaron Rodgers all of a sudden. But I hate to say this too, but it's definitely a race thing as well. On top of the situation, I feel like if it did come out about, like, well, look at Ben Roethlisberger, man. Like, that shit got swept under the rug. He was trying to get with like 13-year-olds, like, and another reason I don't like him, but like, he's white, and white. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of things are stacked against Deshaun Watson even before this happened.
Yeah, I just and it's not like this is the first time that this has ever happened, and it's come out like that. Usually, and a lot of times, I'll give the Jameis Winston incident, as one of those times where somebody was looking to get a quick buck after he made the NFL to take advantage of a situation, and did get a quick buck, but no criminal charges were ever filed, no case was ever filed against it. So it looked like somebody made a mistake one night leaving the bar at 2:30 in the morning, and then and felt like it was a mistake and decided to get paid for it because they knew that they probably could. He couldn't argue the fact.
Look at the Aaron Donald thing not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
But like, this is the thing that bothers me. So this is the only thing that makes me feel like it could be true. Is J.J. Watt did the exact same thing, and they were like, all right, you can go. They just signed a paper, let him go. Wherever you want to go, go. But Deshaun Watson did it. Like, their stories were the same. They did the exact same thing, and then they held Deshaun Watson hostage. They just let JJ go.
Yeah. Yeah, and as far as our day goes, this is not really good use of it because it sucks all the way around. I think bad publicity for anybody, if it's true or false, I don't know. I just would rather not see it or hear about it because I don't trust a lot of the media today anyway. So, where was we going next? We went through a ton of NFL, which is always fun.
Oh yeah, I just like NFL season's creeping up, and I just can't be more excited for it. I'm ready, and that's another thing. Like, I want this Deshaun Watson thing to play out and get figured out so they can, take care of him or take care of the repercussions from Houston. Either whoever wins that battle, if it's the one side or the other, because I want to know if Deshaun Watson's going to be playing. Because that adds another factor. If he's in Houston, he's going to sit. We know that. And it's just like it's turned in. Aaron Rodgers just turned into the Deshaun Watson thing. So
yeah,
there's a lot of issues at quarterback for a lot of teams right now that I'm ready for the season to start, so we don't have to debate on who's going to be starting where. We know who's playing, so we can be excited and talk about who we know for sure is going to be there. And that's why, I'm very happy with the teams we have to talk about regularly. The Chiefs, the Bengals, they've got their quarterbacks, and we and divisionally for the most part we can talk about that. Most likely we're going to have to watch another year of Derek Carr with the Raiders, and we definitely will see another year of Herbie with the Chargers, which I'm excited for. I don't like to root for division rivals, but I'm excited for that kid, seriously, because no one thought he was going to be as good as he is. Everyone thought he was going to be a bust. He wasn't supposed to play last year, and then look what he did. Look what he accomplished off of, losing your head coach halfway through the season, dealing with a team full of getting constantly injured. He didn't have anyone, and he still managed to win games. Not a lot, but still, any game you win, winning one game as a rookie is an accomplishment. But to win, 6 or 7, I'm excited to watch him play. And then over in Cincinnati, we don't really have to worry about the quarterback issues for the most part, other than the recent news being brought up with Cleveland and Aaron Rodgers. But we got Lamar, Joe, Roethlisberger, and Baker. I like our divisions right now. We don't have to really speculate who we're going to be seeing our teams play against for the most part.
I was going to say, and with all this playing around, what could probably is more than likely might end up happening is that this Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson debacle, could see all three of those quarterbacks just switch teams. I mean, honestly, because everybody seems like they want to make a break from who they've got. Except, I mean, even though Houston, Green Bay doesn't say they're not saying that, they're forced, kind of. I think all three of those guys could just interchange, and everybody could come out with a fairly, solid replacement and be.
Oh yeah, if those three teams just traded their quarterbacks between the three of them, it's a fair trade. No draft picks needed, just trade, fair trade, 1-for-1.
And you know what? I mean, I wonder if that's even been talked about anywhere, honestly.
I mean, we get three-way trades a lot. I mean, not as often as you were used to seeing. Like, there were no three-way trades in the draft this year, and, that's surprising to me because you see it a lot in most sports. But it used to be very common, so I plan on seeing more than those in the future. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could see his talent in his first game when he had 5 seconds to prepare. He found out 5 seconds before the game started that he was going to play when he hadn't expected to play for a year. Yeah, I think they're crazy to give up Russell Wilson. I think you should give up your entire coaching staff before you give up Russell Wilson with Seattle. But all he wants is an offensive line, and I don't think he's asking for much.
Well, we had the same argument about talking about Aaron Rodgers. All he wants is some weapons, and they draft a quarterback. I think that's a sign saying that, we're going to do the same thing we did with Brett Favre when we drafted you, yada, yada, yada. But here's the thing. And I've caught this on another sports show, and the more I thought about it, the more I found it to be true. You're not part of ownership. You're not part of management. You're not part of the coaching staff. You're a player on the team. You may be QB1, but you're just a player on the team. You signed a freaking contract to play for X amount of dollars and do this. I think that these quarterbacks should privately dispute what they don't like, but they are not above. They're no different than a backup running back. They're players that's got a contract to play. They should play football.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to an extent. Like, if you got a guy like Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, who is winning games for you, who is putting up numbers for you, doing everything right, especially if they're already under contract and they've been doing all the things right for a couple years, I think they should have at least an opinion and what happens moving forward, making additions to your team. On the defensive side, no, because they're not relevant to the defensive side. But in terms of their wide receivers, their running backs, and their offensive linemen, I feel like once they have proved their worth, they should be worth an opinion that is considered in decision-making to what is going to keep them either performing or going to hurt them.
Why do you think Green Bay traded up for Jordan Love when all Aaron Rodgers wanted was a weapon? Why do you think they did that?
Well, because Rodgers is whiny and selfish, and they want him out eventually, but they have to make sure they got a quarterback ready to play. But so they took Jordan Love because they didn't know the next time they'd be in a good position to be able to draft a quarterback. And one, Jordan Love is not good bad from college. We haven't seen him yet in the NFL. But two, also Brett Favre situation, same thing. No quarterback's ever played more than 16 seasons with Green Bay. That's just happened, and all of these things, like, it had to be a long time coming because of the way Aaron Rodgers opens his mouth. It was probably him.
Yeah, I just think, even though he's kind of a little bit of a drama queen, but he's taking you to the playoffs every fucking year. He's taking you to the NFC championship game. He's making sure that you win ample amount of games. I don't understand why an organization would say F you over something like that. And that's kind of what they did.
Well, all he does is ask for more money and complain that they aren't able to pay for anyone else. Like, he's just too selfish. Selfish, annoying, whiny. 3 words. I'm sticking with him until he retires. Unless he has a change of heart, man. But Shelby said it. He chokes in the AFC Championship every year. But this year, I do not think it was his fault. I feel like it was a coaching error. Who the fuck kicks a field goal when you need 6 points and there's like 2 minutes of game left and you got Tom Brady on the other side of the ball? That was a dumb, young coaching error, which that was worth firing a guy over. That was a Super Bowl trip or kick a field goal. I said, let's just kick a field goal. That was the dumbest thing I saw all season with at least Green Bay. I've seen a lot of dumb things, but that was so stupid.
Here, fair enough. I think there's enough to gripe about on both sides of this argument. I think Aaron Rodgers has a legitimate bitch about the way the team is structured, the way they draft. And I think the team has a reason to bitch because he is whiny and he wants more money and he wants this and he wants that and he's a little needy.
Yeah.
Fair enough?
Fair enough. I mean, I guess.
There's enough fault. There's enough fault to go around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not blaming just Rodgers and I'm not just blaming the front office, or the head coach. That playoff game, I'm blaming the head coach 100%. That's his fault. They should have just went for it on 4th down. And, that was, if they kick a field goal and they make it, cool. But you got 2 minutes to stop Brady and get back down there. Why not go for it? Because at least it shows you're trying. Kicking a field goal is like, yeah, we give up. Brady can go to the Super Bowl instead.
Rigged.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm blaming the head coach until, there is factual evidence that playoff games are rigged. Until that is presented to me, factual evidence, that's a coaching error. Dude, I'm already talking crap about Brady. I'm not going to talk any crap about Gronk because I love that guy. I love tight ends for 1, and 2, Gronk's just funny, But what's up, Brockton? I'm glad you stopped in. But, yeah, you know me. I'm not going to stop talking about Brady just because you tell me not to.
Oh, shit.
I can't help it. I wake up every day mad at Tom Brady about something.
Yeah, really.
Oh, okay. You just disappeared. But yeah. I mean, I actually have not said too many bad things about him today. I haven't said anything bad about him actually. And I have talked about him. That's it. Just talked. And I'm more mad at Aaron Rodgers right now than Brady because he's an idiot. But yeah, Gronk, he's a good one. I like Gronk, and he's just a party animal, and I'm fine with it. He's good at his job. He likes to party. He likes to have fun, and there's nothing I can complain about any of that. So, Gronk's good in my book, and Brady, he just follows Brady, and I can't blame him. I mean, why wouldn't you? You've won a couple rings with him. You've had a lot of fun. You've won a lot of football games with him. I don't blame anybody who's played with Brady in their dynasty years to follow him wherever he goes. Also, I'm going to drop this link in case Shelby or whoever, since we've been on rambling for an hour and a half already. I didn't realize we'd been on that long, but I'll let her come up and give us some thoughts and opinions on everything we hit the head on. I know she's been watching the whole time because she is literally in the other room. She's been here all day. So she's got some opinions, I'm sure. I just think it's so funny. The first thing Brockton says when he gets in here every time, he said, "Hey, I just stopped by to say hey, but don't talk about Brady." Like, I'm gonna. I can't help it. It's in my DNA to talk about Brady.
Frederick, how did you feel about Herm Edwards? Because I always liked him as a coach.
Clock management. Yeah, dude, I feel like clock management is important. That's what I liked about the progression of Patrick Mahomes. He matured really quickly, and his first year where he threw 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, he didn't throw as many the next year, but he learned how to play smarter. Slow the game down, get the lead, and then hold the lead and run the clock. He grew a lot very quickly, and I respect that. And I think the same thing happened this year with Josh Allen.
Yeah, because I always thought Herm Edwards was a pretty decent coach, but I've never heard a Jets fan that liked him much. I guess that's because I didn't see him all the time.
I don't know very many Jets fans, but we live in the Kentuckiana area, so Jets fans aren't that common here.
Well, you know who was always a big Jets fan and would always just grief me to death was Paul Hatfield.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't know that.
Big Jets fan.
Yeah, I don't actually know other than Frederick here. I know quite a few New York fans, but I don't know very many Jets fans.
Frederick, I'm just curious. What did you think about our take on the Knicks this year about how they're playing really good team basketball, and that's kind of like old school basketball.
But is he a Knicks fan or a Nets fan?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
We didn't even ask him. You just keep talking about the Knicks, which you have every right to be talking about the Knicks right now because they're doing great. But the Knicks played the Clippers the other day, and that was a great game. I was getting there.
I'm with you, Sean. I've been busy as I can be. My yard needs mowed too.
Man, ours does too.
Dude, we got fertilizers. We got freaking cows, dude. So our grass grows so fast. I mean, there's one spot where they pee, and there's no grass that grows there anymore because they will only pee right there. But, so now Shelby's on here. What'd you think about getting drugged by some horses today, Dad?
Oh, man. Yeah, that dog's she's sweet as can be, but she has definitely got male issues.
Yeah, I said, she's going to drag you through the yard if you're not careful. And you say, no, she won't. I got her.
It wasn't like I want to run away drag. It was I'm scared to death of you, so I'm trying to get away from you drag.
Bella pulled you off the porch too.
Yeah, Bella was a little better, but man, she's so scared. I feel like I need her for a day or something just to take her to the park and get her to calm down. But she's got to empty her bladder and her bowels first because she took a dump on the porch right next to me because I was scaring her so bad.
Reds up 2-1, top of the fourth.
Ugh.
Keep it rolling.
Anyway, he said, I haven't followed this year, but as a child, I was a huge Knicks fan, and it was all about team play.
Yeah, there were some really good Knicks teams in the 80s. I don't know how old you are, Frederick, but I enjoyed some of the Knicks teams in the 80s for sure. I enjoyed watching the battles with the Pacers in the early 90s. I loved watching Patrick Ewing. That was something. And then even before that, and you know what? His name has left me.
Was that recorded?
Was what?
No, he's talking about the dogs. No, it wasn't recorded. It was I forgot that our second dog, we adopted her, and she's the same age as our other one, but yeah, she's 100-pound English Mastiff, but we got her from we saved her from abuse, and she has a lot of deep-rooted issues with men. And, it's always just us here. And so I just completely forgot. And Dad was like, yeah, I'll take her out this morning. And so I put her on the leash. I handed it over and I just completely forgot. And she just ran and then started running around a tree. And then next thing you know, Dad's hopping 6 feet straight. And I was like, uh-oh. And then we couldn't stop her because she was moving so fast around the tree that neither of us could catch her, even though we had her on a leash. She was pulling Dad and I was trying to stop her. But she was just using bathroom everywhere and going crazy, nonstop running. And when we finally got her settled down, she was a little more okay. But especially outside, when we're in the house, she's a little more calm around men. But when it's in the open where she can see where she can get away, I think it's going to take time. She's only ever around females. So,
Frederick, I liked the one I was trying to think of that I couldn't remember, that I didn't really remember watching as a kid, but I remember watching highlights, was Earl Monroe. And I for some reason, I always liked Earl the Pearl.
Let me come over and check some things out real quick.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, Sean.
Oh, yeah, we saw what happened with CJ, dude.
Yeah, did you see our buddy CJ from CJ's Info's arm from his adopted dog?
He no longer has that dog. Our dogs have no aggressive breed, though, and so I don't think she'll ever get like that. And I also don't know what kind of abuse she endured. We can't even pick anything up without her running away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she acts like she's shy of being hit, and especially from a man, because every time I move towards her, she goes, shakes, and she gets really bad, and she just needs time with people that aren't going to, not other than you guys, to get comfortable with other people, and she was definitely scared today.
Yeah, when we go on vacation, my nephew's gonna come over and watch her. He's gonna stay at the house and watch her. Well, I mean, he's 18 years old, but
He's very thin, but he's
see.
huge.
He's tall.
So yeah, I feel like he's strong enough to hold her.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like he should stay with us the night before while we're there.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Shelby, did you?
Different.
So I know you sit back and listen to everything that come out of our mouths today. What was your biggest? I jumped up and I want to speak moment.
I feel like you guys pretty much hit every nail on the head today, but I'm excited for Tebow. I'm excited to see like if they're gonna have him as a starting tight end or what they're gonna do. It's just.
I think he's got a good chance to make the roster as a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember watching him in college, and then watching him even in Denver. He went out there and he played competitive football. He wasn't the most talented quarterback. His throwing motion is unorthodox. It's somewhere in between over the top and sidearm, and he did not throw a very nice spiral, and he didn't have a great arm, but he won football games. He won football games in the NFL, and then he got blacklisted as the second that Rex Ryan got him in New York. Completely blacklisted. You can't blame Denver for getting Peyton Manning. You can't. Mm-hmm. Denver won 2 Super Bowls with Peyton, I think.
Yeah.
But
they went to 2, won 1.
Yeah, I think something like that. But long story short, that guy, won football games. Did he deserve to be shunned out of the NFL? I really don't think so. No. I wish I understood why he was run out of the NFL. But you know what? We may never know.
No, I think it's one of those things that just kind of happened. Whether there's a legitimate reason for it or if it's just they didn't want to hear about it anymore. I don't know. But I feel like I remember watching him in college, and he was like, I'm not a huge college football fan, so I don't really have like a specific team I follow, but watching him with Florida and like it was just so good.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, Brockton. We'll talk to you later.
Sean. Gotta shave. Don't cut yourself, bro.
No, dude, I know his name is Sean, and I've talked to him 100 times, but I just feel like Brockton works for me. I like calling him Brockton.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, I got a serious question for you two. And Shelby, I just got added to this Dynasty Fantasy League, and someone just messaged me about a trade in the draft, and I need to know what you guys think. So he just messaged me. I have the first round pick of all 6 of our draft rounds. I took Najee Harris in the first round because I don't have any running backs. Second round pick and next year's second if my guy is still there. You think that's worth it?
I think you froze quite a bit there. I don't know how much she heard.
I
Oh.
disconnected for a minute.
Oh, so
I don't know what you said.
So we already went through the first round of the draft. I took Najee Harris because I don't have any running backs. I have Baker Mayfield and Tyrod Taylor, which both will most likely be starters next year. So I don't desperately need a quarterback. But my wide receivers, I have like OBJ and Cole Beasley, and like I have a bunch of wide receivers, but not really like big name ones other than those two. So someone just messaged me and said, Tyler Boyd for your second round pick and next year's second if my guy is still there. Do you think that is a good trade? Oh, Shelby's gone. Well, you're not listening either.
She's back.
But I'm asking both of you.
Oh, for fantasy?
For fantasy, yeah. Tyler Boyd to give up my second round pick. Okay, this is exactly word for word the message. Tyler Boyd for your second and next year's second if my guy is still there. I don't know what guy he wants in the second round, but basically I'd be giving him Tyler Boyd for my second round pick, which I feel like Tyler Boyd would instantly become my number one receiver.
Well, you were talking about wanting a receiver, so.
Well, I wanted Chase because I feel like he's going to do well in fantasy, and I really thought Steven was going to take a quarterback. So I thought
he said he was going to. So
he said he was going to. So I feel like maybe because none of us took a quarterback, that he thinks he'll be able to get his guy in the second round. But I really felt like I wanted Chase. I wanted him to slip for whatever reason because I feel like he's going to put up a lot of fantasy points this year. I had Tyler Boyd last year, and he did me well for most games. But I can't tell if I'm giving up 2 picks or just 1.
It sounds like you're giving up 2.
Yeah,
Tyler, one this year and one next year.
Tyler Boyd for your second and next year's second. So, yeah, if my guy is still there. I feel like, I don't know.
That's
do I want Tyler Boyd or do I want a second round pick? And I have the first pick. I'll just pull up and see everybody who's been taken so far.
I think Tyler Boyd's a good have this year.
I think so too.
I think so too. I mean, I think he's going to have a great season. I think all of Cincinnati receivers are going to have a great season. But as of right now, I took Najee Harris. He's off the board. You took Pitts. Then Chase. Devontae Smith. Javonte Williams, running back. Travis, however you say his name, running back. Waddle's gone. Michael Carter, another running back's gone. Trey Sermon, running back's gone. Trevor Lawrence is gone. Kadarius Toney is gone. And so there's one more pick of the first round. And then I will have the first pick of the second round. Do I give that up and just wait till the third round to pick because there's 12 people picking? Or do I take Tyler Boyd? I'm not really concerned with next year's draft because, I just need to make it through this one. I could tank and have good picks or do really great and have bad picks.
Take Boyd.
I would take him.
Take Boyd for 2 draft picks?
I think so.
Because we get 6 every year.
Yeah.
No, I'm just telling you that the way the Cincinnati Bengals offense is set up this year, Tyler Boyd looks like he's going to be in the slot. And the years that he was in the slot was his most productive years under Dalton.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, that's something, okay. I just needed to get an opinion real quick while we were all here. But also, Amanda is probably going to be on in a few minutes to talk with us. But, so.
That's great timing because it's about time for me to skedaddle.
You got a video coming out today? I'm just curious.
I do if I get my editing done.
Oh, I was just curious because I know you do stuff on Monday sometimes.
Yeah, I'm still trying to. I'm still trying for 10 o'clock tonight instead of 9.
Yeah, that'd probably be good, but I'll make it hopefully. Yeah. So We really haven't spoke about Cincinnati too much today, which is unusual for us. Either Reds or Bengals, and all we've talked about is really scoreboards of the Reds game, and so that's. Oh man, I missed it somehow, but it is Reds are up 5-1, top of the fourth.
What?
I haven't been.
I missed it, dude.
Yeah, we don't have it on the.
But
TV right now.
one random NBA update, other than I know Shelby already knows about the Luka thing, but he got ejected last night for punching a dude in the balls. I don't think he meant to. I think it was poor body placement. But anyway, other than that, Jaylen Brown for the Celtics is out for the rest of the season with a torn ligament in his left wrist. I feel like that's going to hurt the Celtics team, who are finally getting their shit together.
The one thing I can tell you about it is Tucker Barnhart has a hit with 2 RBIs, so he knocked in 2 runs of those. Tyler Naquin's got a hit and an RBI and a run. It looks like Tyler Naquin may have hit a home run.
Winker has 1 hit, 1 run. Nick has 1 run. Moose has 1 run. Naquin has 1 run. Suarez has 1 run. And Tucker has 1 hit. Kyle has 1 hit. And Malley even has 1 hit.
Yeah, but
he just got walked. Malley did.
Yeah, Tucker's got the 2 RBIs on there,
boy.
along with Suarez, Moustakas, and Naquin. So that's the 5 runs. But I don't know. It doesn't say on here if they hit a home run or not.
Yeah, Barnhart doubled to left, and Naquin and Moose scored. Farmer singled to shallow left center, Barnhart to third, and Malley just got walked. So they got a guy on first and third, I believe, with only 1 out. And I don't know who's batting after Malley. I would assume Senzel.
So when are you guys going to record your card video?
Tonight, when we get off here. Well, we got to go pick her car up from her parents. She had it worked on this morning and got some new tires and stuff. So
got some new skins.
Oh yeah, she's going to be running good, hopefully.
Heck yeah! Well, that's really good to be up 5-1 in the fourth right now.
Yeah. Took long enough.
Yeah. I'm really happy for her car.
Hope they don't pull out last year.
And really happy for the Reds right now. They could use a really big win over Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
I'm these other games against like interleague play and other only games I really care about is your divisional games. You got to win those series in order to win your division. And they're beating Chicago. They can beat St. Louis. They didn't.
You know what? Though, like the thing is I'm really hyped up. They beat the Dodgers, whether the Dodgers are in a slump or not. Like that, they took that series meant a lot. I feel like.
Oh yeah, for sure. But just to not get on one of them skids again where they lose 7 in a row. They cannot afford to do that again this year. I don't think. I think that division is going to be tight. As much as I hate to say it, the Cubs have gotten hot since they played the Reds.
Relative. Not a lot. Not like super hot, but like they've warmed up to a lukewarm now.
But, the thing of it is that they haven't hit very well all season, and they're still winning games. We've hit really well.
And are still losing games. Yeah, I get it. Well, we have a shittier bullpen than the Cubs do.
Well, you know what? I think it's coming together, though. I think it's going to be really good going forward.
I just want to talk about that random guy who commented on one of our YouTube videos. I just, it needs to be brought up. I know for a fact he's not watching this, and he probably won't watch anything else we post. So I can talk openly about it and not feel bad. The dude was like, it sounded like a Mark comment, and you said that, and I was thinking it, and he didn't have a real name on his account, so it could have easily been Mark. And he said, I hate Reds fans because at the beginning of the year, they were like, this guy sucks, now he's great. How many people have you heard say that Tyler Malley sucks? No one. And how many people who are saying he's great now? No one. They are just happy for him.
He's talking about Wade.
Wade Miley, not Tyler Malley.
Oh, sorry, Wade Miley. My apologies. But either way, who said that? Who said those things? Did they say he sucked? No, because they just said everyone sucked.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting frustrated because my internet just every time I need to say anything, my internet goes out. But literally, okay, I have been saying this from the beginning that Wade Miley and Tyler Malley both have been the two pitchers that are progressively getting better from their first start till now. They are getting better every single time they are on the mound. And that is all you can ask for. That does not make them great. But what he did was great. It doesn't make him great. What he did was great. He made history books. He was the 17th time it's ever happened in the Reds franchise. It was the fourth one that's happened this year. Only 4 times out of every game played this year that happened. That makes that great. That is a significant thing that is going in the history books. We're allowed to be excited about that. Anybody, I was happy for the other 3 guys who did it this year, and they did not play on the Cincinnati Reds. I was excited because that is something cool that does not happen all the time.
Especially in this day and age when pitchers don't normally get to go 9 innings.
Yeah, right. It's 7-1 now.
Man, they're just knocking them
out.
Senzel, dude. But, yeah, he singled to right, but Kyle and Tucker both scored, and Malley is on second. But, yeah, seriously, I just hate ignorant people. Look, I can take constructive criticism. That was not criticism. That dude was just being a dick. He sounded like Mark. If the Cubs had a no-hitter and Mark posted about it, it's not like we're going to be like, yeah, well, your pitcher sucks, so it doesn't matter. No, I'm going to be excited because he did that.
Yeah, I really don't think that was Mark, but it could have been.
It easily could have been.
It easily could have been. It's a Mark-esque type of person.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we get some weird comments on here. What? On that same post, some kid got on there and said, "Yeah, let's go Phillies."
Fuck the Phillies, bro.
First of all, fuck the Phillies. You only like the Phillies most likely because this was a young kid. I went to his profile. He couldn't have been older than 13. The only reason you like the Phillies is because Bryce Harper. I know for a fact.
Or he lives in Philadelphia.
Or he lives there.
But he watched our video and then he supported his own team. That's fine.
I'm not hating on him for it, but I'm just saying we get weird comments all the time, and I think it's funny. But anything that's ever been bad, on our TikTok account, some girl who's a Dodgers fan, you can probably guess why she's a Dodgers fan. They won the World Series last year. It's common right now. But she was just she didn't come. It was when the Reds beat the Dodgers. I obviously posted a clip. That was a big deal to me and the Reds fans. And she got on there and she didn't hate on me for being a Reds fan. She just talked about her team. Not in a bad way. She said they're just in a slump. She was like, it kind of sucks because we're used to winning. And I'm like, you know what? You guys are in a slump. I don't know what's going on. I know there's a couple injuries, but, I feel like they're going to get back on track because of who they are. And that was it, Those kind of things. I don't mind. But when you just, stereotype us for one, and 2, just talk shit about things we've never said. It doesn't make sense, and it makes me mad. That was the one and only comment we've ever gotten that I was just mad. Right. I'm not that mad, but I was laughing when I saw that comment come through, and I waited. I didn't answer it because I wanted you to see it first. But you went ahead and answered it, and you're like, who's your team? And I was like, that's pretty funny. I was like, he's probably a Cubs fan. Yeah. But whatever. I don't know. I'm proud of Wade Miley. I'm happy for him. Not every there's Hall of Fame pitchers that never pitched a no-hitter, So I'm happy for him. He's a nobody compared to Trevor Bauer. So yeah, I'm so stoked for him specifically. He might not pitch a good game the rest of the season. That's fine, but he still has that in his record book. He did that. 9 innings.
But if you watch that game, he works fast. He hits his spots. He had pinpoint control. He may not have thrown only 3 balls over 90 miles an hour that game, but he kept them hitters off balance and did a fantastic job. And you know what? Luis Castillo's struggling right now. He's going to get back on track.
He is getting better. I mean, his last game is not showing that, but the game before that showed his progression. You know, it's fine to have a bad series or whatever, series of games, you know, as long as you are able to get out of it. He is not a bad pitcher. He will get back on track, you know.
But you know, Wade Miley helping pick him up. Jeff Hoffman doing yeoman's work. He's not dominating, but he's helping keep this team in games to get them to the bullpen. I'm just, it's coming back that these other guys, these what do you call them, role playing pitchers, are helping them get to the place. When Castillo gets in his groove, and it's generally going to happen when those summer months kick in and the temperature warms up, because
it's hard to play in the cold anyway.
He's a much better pitcher in the warm, and then and beyond that, Sonny Gray is finding his groove.
Oh man, that game against the Sox, he was so hyped up. Like, I was so excited for him because he was just like, even after he hit that dude, he would roll. It got in his head, hit that dude in the face. But he's really excited. But anyway, Amanda, I don't know exactly what moment you jumped in here, but we posted a video up of Wade Miley's no-hitter, the final pitch, and basically what I was ranting about is some dude got on there. He sounded like Mark. And he was just like talking shit because we got excited about it, which didn't make any sense. And he was stereotyping Reds fans, which we never said anything about that guy. So I don't know how it was relevant. And we were just talking about how it's impressive. It doesn't matter what team, what person, he does it. It's impressive. And, that was basically it.
Alex, I was going to tell you something, and since we're around the sports book all the time and Amanda's in here, the money line for the Reds game today was minus 10,000 to win, and the run spread was 6.5 runs on the Yahoo Sportsbook.
I thought it was 7.5, the over-under.
It might – the over-under is 12.5 on Yahoo Sportsbook, and that's the one I'm looking at.
That's probably an updated, in-game one, but I think the beginning one was 7.5.
Okay, that makes more sense to me then.
Yeah, but the pregame one.
Yeah. Now I see it. Now pregame it was minus 167.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, since Amanda's in here, we can go ahead and talk about this because it's a sport update. The Tyler DeGrom, the Mets pitcher, getting injured and taken out of the game.
Jacob DeGrom
or Jacob Tyler. I don't know where I got Tyler. I was thinking about Tyler Boyd, but yeah, he's out and on the IL for a while. I don't remember what happened, but I feel like that's really big for the Mets right now because he's one of their better pitchers, if not their best. I don't know a whole lot about the Mets, but that sucks, man. I don't like to see anybody getting hurt.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Jacob DeGrom has been kind of injury prone, hasn't he?
Yeah, like I said, I don't know anything about the Mets. I do have a Mets Jacob DeGrom insert that we pulled last week, and it looks really nice because it was one of the 1952 series.
Bye, Shelby.
I don't know what she said.
Yeah, she started talking, then it cut her right out. But if you've got the time to do it and you want to keep rolling, I need to jump and do some editing. Okay. Yeah, I really hope he doesn't stay out. The Mets need to have their pitching staff stay intact in order to be successful this year for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and jump. I'm going to stay in chat and comment. But I'm going to edit some video so I can try to get that done on time tonight.
All right, 10-4, bro.
Another Indiana video coming out sometime by the end of this week, either Saturday or Sunday morning, maybe Friday if I get it done in time. Also, I can't wait to see another card opening video. I'm kind of excited about, cards like that. I think that's going to be cool. And if you mix it up and throw giveaways in with that, that's an excellent idea.
Yeah. I'm working on the giveaway right now. I'm really, really excited about it. I think since we didn't do it for the 100 subscriber mark, I think we're going to do the 150 just so I can get it planned out. I might just do it sooner because like I have things now. I didn't have anything for a giveaway then. But I'm really stoked about it. We should have our card video out by tomorrow. Shelby and I will be working on it whenever we get out of here. Before you get off here, I'm going to drop the link for anybody in the chat that wants to come and hang out with me and Shelby once Dad dips out. So, but yeah, we're definitely going to be working on a giveaway. I know I keep saying that, but like it's getting closer every day. So I'm really excited to do that. And I might make a short video talking about it and post it out and see, you know, kind of how everyone would like me to do the giveaway, me and Dad. And if not, we got some cool ideas that we already know that works for sure.
Do you think I should save my item for it until 500?
Yeah, 500 or 1,000, either one.
Because I got a good one.
Yeah. Once we get a little bit further, Dad's got a really cool, especially if you're a baseball fan. Right now, we only got baseball themed items at the moment for the giveaway, but like as we progress, there'll be more. There's gonna be a really, really special giveaway at the 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm very excited, and anybody who is already subscribed to this channel will love that gift because it is going to be personalized. And so I'm super, super excited. I can't wait to spend money on somebody when we hit there. But yeah, these giveaways, this smaller giveaway is definitely going to happen soon. Me and Shelby started looking into getting stickers and stuff as well.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and dip. If you guys need me, I'll be in chat.
Heck yeah, boy. We'll be here.
I'm definitely.
What?
Okay.
What? Are you there, bro?
What? I don't think I said anything.
You were saying bro. Things. I just get. What? Are you good? You're very slow mode today. I'm gonna take you off and then click that link and come back on here. Hey, what's up, Amanda?
Hey.
And Philip, I see you. I didn't realize it at first, but then he tilted his head. I was like, oh, there's another person there. Yeah, Shelby's having even more internet issues than I am right now, but she'll be back in here in a minute. But yeah, I saw that Jacob deGrom thing last night, and I woke up this morning with an article about him being on the IL. I didn't click on any of them, but the way that the notifications popped up on my phone, it made it seem like it was like a very, very serious injury, and so that's why I was just like talking about it because I wasn't sure if anyone had heard anything.
So basically what it was is he had tightness down in here into his back. He did have an MRI done. It revealed no structural damage, so for that. This tweet says that he's expected to miss 1 and maybe 2 starts. He's frequently missed 1 to 2 starts over the past few years due to back, neck, elbow, and side issues, but none of those issues have ever proven serious previously. So it's entirely possible he misses his next scheduled start and then is back in time for the series opener against Miami, which is the 21st of this month.
Well, that makes me feel a little better because, like, you know, like I said, I didn't see any Sports Center about it. I didn't get anything like clarifying the injury. It just said he left with the trainer and now he's going on the injury list. And I was like, oh, well, it must be bad the way that they worded their stuff.
Basically, clickbait.
That's kind of what it looked like and that's why I didn't click on it. I mean, I only thing I know about him is he's a good pitcher.
Yeah, right now he's got either the best ERA right now or like the second best.
Yeah, we just pulled one of his cards, and it looks really nice. I'll have to show you it. It's just a pitching card, obviously, because he's a pitcher, but like it's super nice. I was like, I didn't know him, but I knew his name. I hear his name
Right.
all the time, and so I was like, that's pretty cool.
So let's see.
Which pack is that in?
I want to say it's the 10, but I don't know.
Yeah, so
I
right
think
now
it is.
DeGrom
I
is
was gonna
sitting
say,
with
'cause I listened
the
to-
best ERA in baseball
That's
at
that's not bad.
0.68 is what his ERA is right now.
How many games has he played this year? Like how many starts?
His record is 3-2, but I know he's got a couple of no decisions.
Right. I was just curious because I didn't know how many games he's gotten to play yet. Because like in Cincinnati, Sonny Gray's only played 2 so far.
So he has started 6 games. He's got 3 wins, 2 losses, and a no decision.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad then. I mean, it's not at the end of the day, like even if you start out hot and, being a Cincinnati Reds fan, your bullpen sucks, you could have a pitcher pitch a perfect 6 or 7 innings and still lose, so it's not his fault.
Right. And I watched that game that the no decision happened on, and oh man, I was so pissed.
Oh yeah. I believe that. I feel like I had
right.
I said
Anytime
something
there's
else.
something like that, you're bound to be mad.
Right. No, definitely understandable.
Yeah, and then DeGrom is 5th right now in strikeouts with 65.
Heck yeah, dude. 6
Shane
games.
Bieber from the Indians leads the league with 77 strikeouts.
I'm not a fan of him because he plays for Cleveland, but I respect that guy as a pitcher, honestly.
We pulled one of his cards too.
There we go.
We did have a Shane Bieber card, but it wasn't super nice. It was
Right.
just like a very, very average card.
Kitty
Actually,
cat.
Kitty.
Come here. You're going on the live stream.
Oh my god, I just love cats.
Oh. Hi, friend.
Say hi, Sammy.
Hi,
You're gonna be
friend.
You're going to be an internet sensation now.
Yes, definitely. We love Sammy.
We stand Sam.
Yep.
You hear that? You have internet fans.
I mean, we could be real people fans too, but right now in the current moment, we are internet fans.
Our cat's somewhere around here. I just don't know where
I
he's
bet
at.
he's sleeping in his bed.
I think so. He was earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of turned the camera around because Philip's resting his eyes, and I don't think he wants to be on a live stream when he's kind of asleep.
No, that's fine.
You know what? I've seen weirder things on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Went to Walmart today and got
Paint.
color swatches because we're gonna paint the house.
Oh yeah.
Take that shit off the rent.
Fair enough. I love painting, dude. Seriously. I'm just really bad at it.
That's what makes it so much fun, though.
Being bad at it?
Yes, because then you can have fun with it and make a true masterpiece.
I like it, and I feel like I'm decent at it.
We're struggling with your internet today. Shelby.
Yeah, we've got like a bunch of different.
Like when I would drive really bad shit. I don't.
What did you say? I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, I got colors for all of our
Anyone
teams.
saying. I think the weather. I think the clouds are interfering with my connection.
Okay, I feel like I heard the word cloud a minute ago, but I didn't get much full words from your last statement before that just now, so I was not sure.
I said I think the clouds are interfering with my connection. But it's
Oh wait,
real
I heard
bad
you the
right
second
now.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had something. I was just trying to think, but then we got talking about whatever we got talking about, and then I lost it. God, now I'm so mad.
Did you guys see that Sean Culkin got cut by the Chiefs?
I don't even know who that is.
He was a tight end. He wanted his salary converted to Bitcoin.
Oh,
it's
that guy.
He
Yeah.
got cut.
Well, they just drafted another tight end, and they brought back their tight end from last year, so I'm not surprised.
And they also
I mean, he
signed
wasn't-
Blake Bell during free agency.
Yeah, that was their other tight end. They brought him back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they drafted that Tyler kid for in their first round pick, I think, or second round pick, one of the two. I'm pretty excited to have him. He's a tough tight end. He's not like Kyle Pitts, but he's the off-brand Kyle Pitts maybe.
Yeah,
Right.
We'll see how it goes. I'm pretty excited.
I know Kenny Mayne, one of the sports announcers for ESPN, he's not going to be back on ESPN.
What'd he do?
He got cut. Apparently salary cap.
Oh, I thought he said something bad.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I didn't know they could cut someone for salary cap.
Yep.
Broadcasters? You can cut broadcasters for salary cap?
Oh, yeah. It's not the first time, and it's not going to be, the last time that it happens either.
That's just not something I realized was a thing, I guess.
Yeah. But he's one of the bigger names because he did like Sports Center at night with a couple of guys, and then he would make that guest appearance on Dancing with the Stars, and Chris Berman is coming back though. They just gave him an extension, and that's
I saw his. Yeah.
Oh, that.
So, what is up with Tebow coming back to football?
Yeah. We spent like 20 minutes talking about that when we first started, but yeah, that's crazy to me. I feel like this was like a long-term plan from Urban Meyer. Whether he plays or not, he's going to be used as a leader in the locker room for Lawrence and whoever their backup quarterback is. I always thought he had the build of a tight end, so it kind of makes sense.
Well, and I'm pretty sure he was a fullback, went and was like converted to a quarterback, or he might have been a tight end first and then went to quarterback. He was either a fullback or a tight end first before he was ever a quarterback. But it makes sense. He's coming back as a tight end for
Urban Meyer.
Yup, because he played under Urban Meyer when the Gators were dominant.
Yep, back with Aaron Hernandez too.
Yep. We
That's
all
what
forget about that.
Yeah. Let's see. There was another big guy on that team too, and I can't think of who it was.
Ugh.
But
there were there were quite a few big names on that team with Tebow.
Mm-hmm. There really were with
and they all ended up in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean that's Urban Meyer's teams for you.
Yeah, we'll just see what happens with a Urban Meyer NFL team now.
Right. I mean, he can coach players to the point where they're ready for the NFL, but I wonder if he can coach them in the NFL.
See, and that's the thing. In college, he can get in their face because guess what? At the end of the day, that's his team. And there's no like players association really. I mean, yes, they have
Right.
Title IX stuff.
Yeah, but that's not
Exactly. But in the NFL, it's a completely different beast because, you've got players that are being paid millions and millions of dollars to play a game, and they are protected under, the NFLPA. So Urban Meyer's not going to get away with talking to NFL players the way that he was used to talking to college kids.
I mean,
it's
kids
not going to fly.
basically just had to shut up and take it. These are grown-ass adults who are going to fight back.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be a really interesting ride. I don't like the Jaguars, and if I had to pick a team from that division, it's going to be the Colts every single time.
Right.
But, I am curious to see how it plays out.
Oh, definitely. Devin and I were talking yesterday, like we were making our picks for each division in football, and from the AFC South, like we both were like, it's going to be the Colts.
Yeah, so I'm on the Colts ride the whole way for this season. They should have had it last year, and they were only one game away from having it.
They were very close.
I don't think Tennessee is going to go over. Like they haven't really gained. They've only really lost in this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So, Indy has improved. I mean, I'm not talking Carson Wentz. I'm talking everything else they did. Carson Wentz, if they can keep him to chill out, and if they can get a good run game, they're going to have no problem. So he won't be throwing the ball as much.
And then also, not only that, but if Carson Wentz can actually stay healthy, then, they might do even better. But your quarterback has to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if Phillip Rivers can do it, and they got the same team but only better this year, if Phillip Rivers can do it, and I'm not saying he's bad, but Carson Wentz should be able to do it with ease. Should be able to, but he's a little bitch boy. So we will see what happens, in September when this starts rolling out. And we'll see, if they try interchanging and using some other quarterbacks in the preseason and see what they decide to do with him.
I was actually getting ready to ask who else is in their quarterback lineup.
Because
I don't remember.
Colts current quarterback
and their QB staff.
Okay, Carson Wentz, Jacob Eason, Jalen Morton, and Sam Ehlinger, which I think Sam was the draft.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, he was. Because he is a quarterback out of Texas.
Yeah.
He's the one that his brother just passed away.
Yeah. His brother was that linebacker
that was in for Texas. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they both played for Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That just sucks, man. That's like today, Tariq Cohen's brother was found dead. He got electrocuted and working, and that sucks, man. Like, it sucks to see it. It doesn't matter who it is.
It's so crazy. Yeah. It seems like a lot of like NFL players and NBA players' family members are just like dying like crazy right now, whether it be like murder or
who
like
was it? Kawhi? Was it Kawhi in the NBA?
Well, Karl Anthony Towns' family.
No, Karl Anthony Towns. He lost like his entire family this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it was COVID, but still, like he lost like everybody, like all of his family.
I think it was like 5 members of his family.
Yeah, with his mom being one of them. So he shared, ESPN ran an article yesterday that he shared like a really special moment with his dad as he lost his mom last year to COVID. So
yeah, he had a really bad year. So I feel for that guy.
But yeah, it's just like so crazy. Like all these people are just, I mean, I know like every day, like people people pass
People,
away,
people
but
die
like,
every day, but
it's
still,
just
it sucks.
yeah, it's just crazy like how many athletes have just lost family members in the last even the last 6 months. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's sad to see, but again, like you said, people die every day, but I mean, that doesn't mean you can't, sympathize.
Right.
We're all human.
Yeah, that's why like the Carl Anthony Towns thing. I remember at the beginning of this season, he I did not kick you out, dude. You just disappeared. You kicked yourself out. Um, uh, he was down here in the lobby, and it just disappeared. So you kicked yourself out. I don't know what you did. I haven't touched it, but yeah, like he made some statement at the beginning of the season, and like I like teared up for him because like I can't. It's almost like I can't believe he came back to basketball. Like that's how like devastating losing 5 members of your family basically at one time
Right.
would do to you. Like I'm honestly like shocked that he came back. And so, I have a lot of respect for guys like that.
But then again, when you lose like half of your life, and then the other half of your life is the NBA, you want to keep what you can.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true, but we know that guy's got enough money to live forever and not have to play basketball. But like the fact that I know it's probably more of a distraction than anything, but like playing basketball right now, still being under COVID rules, like it's being thrown in his face that the thing that took his family is the thing altering his job now.
That's
and
true.
So, like it's a lose-lose at the same time because like you lose your family and then you go to work and your work is just affected by the thing that took out your whole family, and you're still strong enough to come back and keep doing it every day. And so like I don't know, like everyone is only human, but someone who is looked up to by thousands and thousands of kids and has a platform and still shows his face and is on TV every week playing basketball, to be able to continue to do that, like I don't know, it's something special. Like you have to be a special kind of person to live through that and be okay and still be able to do what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever play basketball again if it were me in his shoes. Like I would walk away from it. I knew for a fact I had enough money to never have to rely on basketball to live. I would probably disappear and become a hermit, like a hermit with millions.
Right. I mean, hey.
Ooh, women's NBA starts on Friday.
I still do not know a single thing about women's NBA. I wish I did, but I still have no idea. Not one single thing. Except for that one girl from like Arizona or whatever got drafted like 2nd or 3rd overall. That's still like the only thing I know. I wish I could have the mental capacity to keep up with all women's sports, but I am so bad at it.
Trust me, I am too.
Yeah,
I mean, I've actually been to a WNBA game before, and it was, oh my God, when was it? It was either 2001 or 2002. I'm pretty sure it was 2002. I don't know. I actually still have the ticket stub. I'll have to look at it later.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I keep all my ticket stubs from games.
I try to, but I have a lot of paper and they wear over time, and so I'm better at it now than I was then. When I was in high school, I went to like concerts every single week, and I try to keep all of them. They just wore off, and half of them you can't read anymore, but I just don't have the heart to throw them away.
It's hard now because like tickets are going like to
paperless.
They're just paperless tickets, and it's like so upsetting because like Alex and I went and saw a couple of our favorite bands in Kansas City, and it had to be on an app.
Yeah, you can screenshot it and keep the screenshot, which is cool, but like there's just something
doesn't have
so
the same
special.
material, like
and then like we went to our first NFL game, couldn't get actual tickets.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow it because of COVID.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks. Like I am such a like a hoarder for memories. Like every picture that's ever been printed or ticket or whatever,
Right.
I will hold on to it until I die because like I just love having that stuff. And I have a stack full of like actual tickets and stuff, but you know, like when you don't we're coming to one, a digital age for one, and two, with COVID and everything, and you don't get that kind of thing. It's weird. Like it's not the same just having a screenshot on your phone. Then like, yeah, I went to that, you know.
Right.
I'm not a super like picture-y person, so I always forget to like capture good moments and stuff. Maybe like one or two quick things, but I'm really bad at that. So it's like if you don't have your ticket stubs to show for it and stuff like that, like it sounds dumb, but if you don't have your ticket stubs, like you have to rely on, you know, like spending your time taking pictures and videos to show for it, and because like
And then you end up actually missing the
more.
moment.
Yeah, and so like that's why I'm not like I don't like to worry about pictures and videos because like
Somebody
I
else
just
will
want to
capture
enjoy
them.
it. Yeah, yeah. Like that's why I like especially with music, because like music is like the one
Your
thing
life.
I love more than football. Like there's not much that goes above football for me. Well, sports in general, but mainly football. And yeah, you know, everyone's like, "Oh, you got any cool pictures, cool videos for that?" I'm like, first of all, I love you, Shelby. This is not the time and place to get upset about that. You know that doesn't. I'm talking about things, not people. Let's don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. You know, it's like saying, "Oh, I don't love my dad because I love football." Yeah, obviously I love my dad. I don't know why. Whatever, but like, so you know, like it's just like, first of all, I'm 4'11". It's not easy to get pictures and videos and stuff from people that are 10 feet tall standing in front of you, which happens everywhere I go. So
Just felt.
and so you know, like
5 foot even over here.
yeah, I'm 4'11 and a half. I'm right this much smaller. So like I don't know, it's just weird because I don't know. I get all like worked up about that subject because like I do enjoy taking pictures and videos so I can lay in my bed in the middle of the night and reminisce the things I did. But you know, like there's also YouTube, and I love YouTube. Like shout out to YouTube for having every single show I've ever been to, someone's posted a video, and so I can go back and watch it that way. But I just like living in those moments and seeing all these people. And you know, if I would have been on my phone the whole time, I probably wouldn't have met some of the artists I've met because like I wouldn't be paying attention. And like I've met a lot of my favorite band members because they just walk past me and I just happen to see them and I'm like, that he's right there. But if I was like, you know, tweeting about the show or taking a Snapchat, I probably would have missed it. And so I wouldn't have anything to show for it at that point. I don't know. It's a weird subject for me.
No, I get it. I mean, like, you know, my first baseball game was the Mets and the Royals at Shea Stadium.
Sick.
Dude. The Mets lost, by the way, so okay.
Okay, I like the Royals.
That's why I said that. So we went to 2 games in 2002. And we went to the New York Liberty. I don't remember who their opponent was. 2015, I went back home to New York. Now it's Citi Field because Shea Stadium is no longer there. Sad days.
Yeah, I understand that too.
My aunt and uncle, they knew what day I was flying in. They were like, okay, the Mets are playing at home. They're playing their, you know, pretty much their arch rival, the Philadelphia Phillies, and our niece is going to be in town. Even though we're Yankees fans, we're going to take her to a Mets game.
That sucks, being a Yankees fan and forced to go to a Mets game. Right?
Only when they're not playing each other. But I mean, It was Labor Day weekend. I was flying in, you know, with like a month left of that season before going into the postseason. And, you know, because my family is sports fans, we were able to enjoy the, you know, the game overall.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I'm that type of person. I could go to any NFL, NBA, hockey, any type of game like that. Like, and I'm gonna have a good time no matter who it is. Like, I went to a Louisville Cardinals and Syracuse game. Like, am I fans of either of those teams? No. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, it was a great time.
I think there's very few exceptions, like the Dallas Cowboys, dude. I could never walk up in their stadium and have a good time unless someone I liked was actually there. Like I couldn't just go to one of their games if I was in Texas, you know? Like there's some exceptions that I would not enjoy it. I mean, I would enjoy it the first time because like, you know, it's a bucket list thing to go into every stadium. I'll probably never get into the Green Bay Stadium, but I can try.
Why wouldn't you get into Lambeau?
Because there's like a 10-year wait list on it to get tickets. I'm not waiting 10 years to go to Lambeau. If I just
like
get lucky.
Lambeau, what? Did I hear Lambeau?
Yeah, dude, like, I mean, like, if I were given an opportunity and someone was like, yeah, I won free tickets, fly out here, I'd be like, all right, I'm flying out there because that's my only chance. But every other stadium, I think I'll be able to get into and see a game, pending there's still a stadium and haven't relocated or whatever by then.
Right.
But that one is, like, definitely the hardest one to get into for a game.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, but honestly, like, our location where we live, you know, we're like central because we're an hour outside of Cincinnati. We're, you know, just under 2 hours from Louisville, 2 hours from Indianapolis, you know, and then what's the time to get to Kansas City? 6, 7 hours?
Almost 8.
Yeah,
like 7.5.
And then 6.
It's really not bad though. Seriously, it's just a straight line, and it's like 4.5 to 6. It depends on the traffic and driving for Chicago. It's really none of these.
We're 6 hours away from Chicago, 4 hours away from Cleveland, 10-ish hours from Green Bay.
Which is crazy to me that it's only 10 hours. Like, yeah, 10 hours is like half a day pretty much, but like it feels like it's so far away. It feels like you're going to California, but like the other way for some reason.
And then it's like 6 to 8 hours to Detroit. Like,
oh, yeah, but Detroit and Chicago are the same distance. You just take 2 different roads once you get closer.
Yeah.
And then MetLife Stadium in New Jersey is 10.5 to 11.5-ish, somewhere along there.
I mean, shit. If you're gonna take 10 hours, you know, like all of the Florida stadiums are only about 12, except for maybe one of them. So like,
same thing.
We're relatively close to everybody on this side of the half. And
yeah,
so
we're like also 6 hours from the Atlanta Falcons Stadium.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they're more northern.
Let's see, because Philip and I did the math. Like we went into maps one day and was like, okay, how long would it take to get to this stadium? How long would it take to get to this stadium? And most cities that have a professional football team usually have a professional baseball team. So like Cleveland, you pass by Progressive Field getting to First Energy Stadium.
I was gonna say a lot of them are like side by side or not like
Paul Brown and Great American Ballpark, and then the Royals and the Chiefs Stadium are up on a hill right next to each other. Like they're the 2 stadiums are on a hill. It's awesome. Yeah. Also, I was gonna say since you said Cleveland, my camera was blurry, and this hat looked like a Cleveland Indians hat while everything was blurry. I mean, it's orange and green, so it's really not. But like, I was just like, oh, here it's blurry again. It just looks like a Cleveland Indians hat from back here.
Yeah, and that's like the Mets and Yankees. You've got the Mets here, and then all you do is you take the subway, and boom. You're in the Bronx. That's why when the Mets and Yankees play, it is called the Subway Series, because you take the 7 train, you take the 4 train, and there you go. You are at your respective stadiums.
Dude, it's just like, it sucks because like New York and California have so much baseball and basketball, dude, and football, really. Like they have everything and they have multiples of all of them. It's just like you get all the options in the world if you're in California or New York and even really Florida. So it's just like I get that they're bigger states, but it's just like
Yeah, Florida has the Dolphins, the Jaguars, and the Bucks for football. Baseball, they have the Marlins and the Rays. I think that's it.
they got hockey too.
And then they have the Tampa Bay Lightning for hockey. They have Inter Miami FC for soccer.
Don't forget
They got the Heat
about Orlando.
Oh yeah, Orlando too. Yeah, for soccer, but they got the Miami Heat.
Yep, the Orlando Pride. They got the Heat. They've got the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, they got everything.
They got the Pride and Orlando FC.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You know all about that Orlando organization, Shelby.
Yeah.
No more than anybody I've ever met.
My girls.
Yeah. I pay attention to the NJNY Gotham. Like, I'm sorry. How are you not going to pay attention to a soccer team that part of their name is Gotham? And then you look at their uniforms, dude, it is dope.
I like their uniforms, but like I'm more impressed with Louisville's uniforms, like with the little like the lavender and then the dark purple, and it just looks so smooth.
I'm biased with that one because I've been a Lou City fan for a long time, and now they have the women's team and the stadium and like all of they got the whole full package now, and so like it makes my very young heart happy because you know I've watched Lou City for like probably like 10 years now at least, and I was just in high school, you know. And now they're finally progressing. They're going to get the recognition that FC Cincinnati gets now. Finally, it's taking them so long because no one knows anything about them. And then my girl Brittany just went out and brought a soccer team to Kansas City, so that just gives me more to look forward to.
Brought one back to Kansas City.
Brought back to Kansas City, yeah, from Utah. And so we got the men's and women's team in Kansas City now. So that's freaking exciting.
Nice.
But I'm Lou City has my heart, man. If we're going soccer, men, women, it doesn't matter. Louisville's got my heart, and I'm not usually a Kentucky anything fan, but that's the one sport.
Hey, I mean, that's fair. What have I always told you? You like what you like. And, you know, sports fans, as long as you can agree to be sports fans at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who your damn team is.
Oh yeah, except for Pittsburgh fans. They all fucking suck. You cannot have a conversation with them. Seriously, it ends in a fight every single time.
Or
Steelers,
Cubs fans.
Penguins, Pirates, all of them are trash.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and that whole. Yeah, fuck Pittsburgh, dude.
Yeah, if your team colors are black and yellow, I probably hate you.
Being here.
I want to join.
He said, I want to join. we started talking shit about Pittsburgh, and Philip said, all right, it's my time to shine. Give me a mic. I never seen someone shoot up so fast. I started talking shit about Pittsburgh. He goes, I want to join.
That's how he is, though.
Because everyone knows it does not matter what division your team plays for. It does not matter if your team's in the AFC, if your team's in the NFC. It does not matter if you don't even like football. If you're not a fan of Pittsburgh, you like to talk shit about them. It's just how it goes. And it's just like the Dallas Cowboys. That's like the NFC equivalent. Fuck the Cowboys, dude. I'll go to Texas. I will literally go to Texas and wear clothes that just say fuck the Cowboys all over them. I will do it. I don't care if I get shot. There's a lot of guns in Texas. I don't give a shit. It'd be worth it. I'd do it in Pittsburgh too, but I'm more scared of people in Pittsburgh than I am in Texas.
Oh, boy.
I saw the fight Aaron Donald tried to break up in Pittsburgh. Yeah, no thanks. That was just outside of a random club. You know what? Tiffany in my department told me that she went to a Reds-Pirates game in Pittsburgh one time, and she said it is nothing like the football environment. They are so chill in the baseball world in Pittsburgh. And I was like, because she was like, yeah, I went to a Pittsburgh Reds game in Pittsburgh, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That sounds fucking awful. And she was like, no, seriously, it was such a good time. No one messed with you. No one talked shit. And I was like, what? In Pittsburgh? Are you sure?
Yeah, Tiff told me that same story, and I'm just like,
yeah, dude, like, that's so weird. Because they're not chill about anything else.
no.
Maybe it's because they suck at baseball. I don't know. Maybe they haven't won as much as the
Speaking
Steelers have.
Let's get an update on that game.
It is 8-1. At the bottom of the 8th, I think?
That moved quick.
The 6th.
6th. Okay, I can't read. Yeah, bottom of the 6th, 8-1. Fuck Pittsburgh, dude. They're still below the Cubs, but I'd be fine if they won a couple games and put themselves above the Cubs.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck the Cubs, man.
Fuck the Cubs.
If you like
You know,
Cincinnati,
and-
you have to hate Pittsburgh, but everyone, including God, hates the Cubs.
Then the Pacers are losing to Cleveland right now at halftime.
Oh, Philip. Okay, let me go to Facebook, and I will send a link in this group chat. So here, I'll just post a new link. Copy.
All I did was get. I don't know why he didn't just get on YouTube.
Yeah, it's literally. But here he goes. Got him. It's fine. He said, "I want to join." He said, "I want to join." That was so funny.
Yeah, let's see. So the Pacers and Cavs.
What? Hang on. Hello? Are we on the phone or not? I'm so confused.
I'm so lost. Okay.
You're on the phone with me. I was like, why is he calling? It just said Philip joined the call. Like, why are you calling? You just got. I sent you the link. I was so confused.
Well, okay, so
no worries.
We've got the Pacers and Cavs game is at halftime right now. The Cavs leading by 7. Wizards and Hawks just started the 3rd, really, and that's a 4-point game. Pelicans and Grizzlies is a 2-point game with still over 6 to go in the 2nd. And then the Bucks and Spurs game just started. That's a 2-point game. And then still got the Jazz and Warriors, Rockets and Trailblazers.
Yeah, I feel like the Pelicans might not be in the playoffs. They just lost Zion. He broke his finger.
Yeah. And their VP of operations or some shit like that got fined $50,000 for saying, oh, well, he's a bigger guy, so they're getting more physical with him than they do with anybody else. And I'm like,
it's not true. No, everyone catches bodies in the NBA. And if you're Luka, you catch balls and get ejected.
The guy that got teabagged.
I mean, he was turning, and they were like, yeah, he did it. He looked dead ass in that guy's face afterwards. And I'm like, yeah, but I think he was just moving. I don't think he did it on purpose. He's got a temper, and he's very immature in that sense. But I don't think he just punched that dude in the balls on purpose.
No, I think he's smarter than that because he's pretty close to being
out.
Suspended.
Yeah.
One more.
Technical, yeah.
I thought it was one more before this last one.
Yeah, but he got 2, I thought.
So this flagrant that he got doesn't count towards his technical. But he has one more technical before he is suspended for 1 game.
Yeah, so, I mean, he does need to work on his temper, but he did not hit that dude in the balls on purpose.
Yeah.
It'd be funnier if he did. But the meme created afterwards, because they were, showing his video on his face on the camera, and he was like,
Like, what's going on?
This is freaking awesome. If I were him, I'd be laughing my ass off, dude. That's funny.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, it sucks because he got ejected, but they, whatever. They still won.
It's like that clip
Yeah.
of One Punch Man
Yeah.
where he's like, he just got his fist up like this, and then he just lands on it.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, he was literally turning his body, and your arms just kind of move when you're turning, and it just tapped him. Love tapped him right in the ding dong.
Or in a ding dong.
He ding dong his yoo-hoo.
Ding dong is you.
So what's up, Philip?
Well, I had a nap. I feel okay now. We've been rearranging the house.
Hell yeah.
That giant TV stand we had in the living room is now by the it's now in the other corner with
Hell yeah.
all of our we got our draft stuff up there. So our baseball caps are up there. Along
Nice.
with, I think we got a teddy bear too there, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's a teddy bear on top of the TV too.
Very nice.
Teddy
I
bears are cool.
took the thing out of the cabinet myself and could not get it back in. But I guess in sports related news, Browns are not interested in a trade.
Yeah, dude,
Brandon
I
Rodgers.
know. My dad keeps bringing that up. He's brought it up to me off the stream, on the stream. That's never going to happen. That's the dumbest thing they will ever do, other than hiring
why-
Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah, well, I mean, why would you trade,
Your
a
future.
younger quarterback? Yeah, your supposed future for a 37-year-old.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not saying
37-year-old.
Rodgers isn't talented, but he's getting too
Yeah.
old to be worth that.
If he was 32, I'd see it, but he's not.
Yeah. That was my main argument is like Baker's only in his 5th year and he's already doing so much better every single
He's-
year. And
he's not
he was
even in
doing
his 5th
great.
year. He's in his 4th year.
So this will be his 5th year, I mean, right?
He's on. They picked up his 5th year option for 2022.
Okay. So I misread that. But yeah, either way,
Or something
he's
like
20 he's 24, he's 25, and he's only getting better every year, despite the injury he had, like with his ribs and everything, and he still continued to perform. Why would you get rid of him? Because he has to be involved with that trade to make that Aaron Rodgers trade work. There's no other way. So why would you get rid of pretty much someone you can guarantee, pending they stay healthy, be there for a long time, for someone who has maybe 3 years?
It's not just someone that pending they can stay healthy, but just stay on the field based on level of play, and
Right.
he's shown that.
Right. I mean, look at the Browns have like the highest QB turnover like ever. So like look at all of the quarterbacks before Baker. You have
Mhm.
some talent go through there, but it's just like the situation, they were not able to perform there. But like Baker is actually working well under the system. You finally have a competent head coach. Everything is working out well for you. Like, yeah, let's just screw it all up by get rid of our star and bring an old man.
I think the only exception is the Jets. I don't know what their situation's like.
Well, yeah.
It's the Jets.
It's the Jets.
So
I actually talked really highly of the Jets about 2 hours ago on here. And I don't ever do that. And so I was like shocked for those words to come out of my mouth. But I did talk fairly high of them. I don't really like Zach Wilson, but I like what they're at least attempting to do right now. Whether it plays out or not, I think they're making good decisions at the moment.
Did I tell you guys a story about Robert Saleh? About how Salah, yeah. About how after practice, the horn rang to say, "Hey, it's the end of practice. Let's go listen to head coach." He instinctively went to go put weight in a spot that he used to wait in as a defensive coordinator, and he was waiting for the head coach, and he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, it's me. I'm the head coach."
It's like,
That's
"Oh,
funny.
That's me.
Yeah, it's me. Oh, they're waiting for me.
Shit.
That's so good. I love that. That's like wholesome, actually.
It really is.
Amanda told me that, and I'm like, it's already not looking good for the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, he forgot he's the coach, so maybe.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, he is also in the Jets, so like, I don't know.
His brain's probably like this big, so it's fine.
Kitty? Is
Baby.
that what I hear?
Baby.
Oh, baby.
No, that was the baby.
He sounded
just
like a
needs
kitty.
his elephant.
Me
I
too,
get it.
buddy.
He needs Bink Bink.
I get it. Yep.
Sorry, guys.
Well, that's okay.
Just baby things.
Yeah. He's tired. His sleep schedule's so messed up today because we had to go take the Blazer in for a detailed treatment, oil change, and because I'm special, somehow a nail got stuck in the center tread of my front driver tire. So that was fun.
Yeah, I know too well about tire troubles because I'm like prone to them. Like,
You and me both.
yeah, Shelby just got new tires this morning too.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to turn this monitor off real quick.
Whoop whoop whoop.
Get my little goldfish. Oh, okay. I'm back.
Okay.
Snack that smiles back. Goldfish. Got like 3 bags for my mother-in-law on Saturday, so I'm just like,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, goldfish, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, 1 bag is specifically for the baby, but she never said anything about the other 2.
Well, yeah. I mean, he probably doesn't eat them fast enough in order to go through a whole bag, so it'd probably be stale by the time he got to them. So,
So yeah, it's the best part about
No.
having kids is getting to share with them.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, I never used to share my food, not even with my nieces or nephews.
Well, they weren't your kids, so it makes sense. I would never share my food with my nieces or nephews. They'll be fine. They can get their own food. Get a fucking job, dude. You're like 2. Get a job.
Slackers.
Yeah, what the hell?
Well,
So
I mean,
We tell our cat that all the time. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, get a fucking job, dude. You're just like bumming.
Whenever Sammy gets mouthy with me, I'm like, what bills do you pay to talk like that?
Exactly. I woke
The
up
cat-
this morning bright and early because all I heard was whoa, whoa, whoa. She was just barking at nothing. Like, it's 6 a.m. Why are you barking? Go to bed.
smelled a squirrel.
No, dude, she's just an attention whore, man. She does not like to be alone.
Aw.
Not in a weird, like, I have issues way, like separation anxiety. It's just like she gets bored so easy. And Bella's sleeping, so she's like, well, someone else has to get up then. She's not awake to entertain me.
And if we leave toys in there with her, like
She'll
more
destroy
than-
them.
Yeah, like we can only leave like specific ones in there, else she just completely destroys them. So
Yep. She's a psycho.
lots of fun.
I wish you guys were here this morning so you could, my dad came by at like 10 or something like that. And he was like, I'll take Bella, I'll take the dogs out because I want to see them. And I was like, okay. And we forgot that, Cora has issues with men, like severe issues with men. And it's a lot worse outside. So she was relatively okay in the house, but we got to the door. I opened the door, handed the leash over to my dad, and she drug him straight through the yard, and she just started running around the tree, and he just had to like run around the tree to keep up with her so he could stop her. And but she was mostly just dragging him, and I was like, I freaking told you. And then, but we forgot that she was like afraid of men because there's no men ever in the house, and so we figured out she was like afraid and freaking out, trying to get away from him. There he is. Yeah, this guy.
So I was watching that this morning. I was looking at the window. I'm like, what the hell's going on over in showing Alex's house?
Yeah, dude, he opened the door, and I said, all right, Cor, go to the bathroom. So, boom, and my dad just went with her. Bella wasn't so bad.
I saw some strange car like parked out front. I'm like, who's that? And then some person I didn't really recognize. I'm like, who's that? And then the chaos ensued. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
We have a glass front door. What do you want from me?
I mean, we only live right across the street from Shelby and Alex, so
Yeah, it's fine.
I always enjoy coming home from work and just looking at your cats, just looking at me. Your cats are the real stalkers. They watch me. They watch every move I make outside. They're just, well, it's only 2 of them. They're just like,
Always watching.
and so
yeah,
I'll always wave.
Sammy.
Yeah, I always wave at them. Like, hey, Jimmy, how the hell are you? He said, be less nosy. LOL, JK.
Oh, I guess I could have tried to help.
No, dude, it was all good.
He seemed like he had it under control, though.
No, he didn't have it under control. I had to grab the dog. As she ran around the corner, I just like had my arm like this, and her head just stopped, like hang her, and just stop and grabbed her so she would stop.
Shit. The cats are plotting to roll the
Oh shit!
No, I think
It
they're
is
plotting to take over after we mess it up.
It's 11-1. Tyler Naquin hit a home run, and at least one run got scored with it.
Very nice.
Freaking Tyler Naquin. Oh, Moose and the Wink scored.
Nice.
Did you hear me earlier? Or, I mean, did you see my message earlier when I said that the jerseys are in?
Our jerseys are here?
Yeah. I texted you.
At the house?
No.
I love that.
Yes, they're here at the house. I texted you about it.
I'm sorry. I don't look at my phone. But I don't have a text from you. Oh, yeah, I do. From 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I was busy. I've been on here for 3 hours, so I haven't looked at my phone in 2 hours. Or 3 hours. Put them on. I'm not putting them on right now, dude. They're brand new and white. What? Stop sending messages that say put them on.
They are nice, though. Very nice.
Trace Horace. Shut up.
He's bored. Shouldn't you be editing?
Yeah, shouldn't your video have come out 3 minutes ago? I didn't get a notification, so.
Oh.
The upload speed is very slow.
Well, not at his house.
Yeah.
He's got good internet.
Us, on the other hand, it's like
He said, I am.
1 megabyte per second.
Maybe he's rendering.
He's being a crackhead right now. That's what's happening.
Oh my god.
It's okay. You don't have to be afraid.
He said, I'm naked and afraid.
What is happening right now? Like, I don't even know what's going on.
I don't either. He said, LOL, yeah, crack. Like,
I don't know what's happening. I'm just vibing.
it's like that day Colin was in here the other day,
Understood.
and him and the other guy were just talking about 2 different things, just kept going, and I was like, I have no idea what's happening.
Guys
Yeah.
sorted it out.
I'm on Google right now trying to score a freaking Gotham FC jersey because I want one. They're nice. They're pretty.
Gotham
Very
needs you.
nice.
No.
My dad just said,
What?
"Look at Amanda." I'm looking at you.
He said she was froze with a great face. I didn't
Oh,
see it.
I didn't see it either. I was
My other concern is why is the
Gore.
room yellow?
Yeah, you're very yellow, Amanda.
very yellow, and I'm very white.
I hope nobody let
There
off
we
any
go.
sulfur in there. That'd be really. Oh, okay. Nothing concern.
I'm so confused.
I stay confused. Go back
No,
later and
I can
screenshot.
restart.
I'm always.
I don't know
I
what's
don't know.
happening.
I feel like our internet's getting to the point where it's just not going to make it much longer.
Yeah. Ours is the
Between-
same way.
I was gonna say between all four of us right now, I feel like we're all just kind of
Maximum brightness.
cutting.
I can't see anymore.
Mm, 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 mm. 9 p.m. is my downtime. It slows down. Oh, okay. His internet slows down at 9 p.m. Well, then you should have had it done by 9 p.m., sir.
I didn't realize it was already 9. Need to go
I did
pick my
not
car
either.
up.
It is
Yeah, we
freshly
got-
9.
Freshly 9.
We're only 7 minutes into the hour.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, what did I miss? Did I miss anything today? I don't think so.
Did the Reds win their game today?
They're still
They're
playing.
It was a 6:45.
Yeah, it's 11-1, middle of the 7th. Tucker just struck out, and so
Is it close?
no.
I gotta see who's winning that one.
Oh, the
Alex.
Reds.
Oh,
You
good.
Did you guys see the news about the Kentucky Derby winner?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we heard about it this morning. Something about his pee getting on the horse's hay.
He failed a post-race drug test, supposedly had double the legal amount of a anti-inflammatory, and Bob Baffert has been suspended from setting foot on Churchill Downs and cannot enter a horse into any race at Churchill Downs right now.
That sucks, but also,
Well, he's already won like what, 7
yeah.
derbies?
Well, if it comes back that yes, this was an illegal doping, then Medina,
Medina's
what was it?
Spirit.
Medina Spirit will be disqualified, and whoever the second place horse was will be declared the Derby winner
So
by
how does that work with like sports betting?
Oh, it's a freaking mess right now.
So
Yeah, I
here's the
got a
thing.
That's
notification
not my
about
pay
it.
grade.
What does anti-inflammatories have to do with performance?
I feel like I read that differently, but actually Shelby read it to me this morning, so I don't know.
So I was reading that the guy claimed that his handler was like taking too much like Dayquil or NyQuil and
That's what it was.
peed on his hay, and so he ingested the whatever it was, and
Oh, the horse. I thought we
yeah.
were
Yeah.
talking about the jockey. I'm like, why does that matter?
Yeah,
No, it's the
so it's beta-methasone, and it must be so. Even though beta-methasone is legal under Kentucky racing rules, it must be cleared 14 days before a horse races.
And
Not
here's another
14
thing.
days after.
Right.
Why would you pay on heat if they feed it to your horse?
Well, you see, I don't know.
I mean,
Weird shit goes
like,
down in Kentucky.
I mean, like they're
I
gonna
feel
eat
like
that.
I think that's just an excuse.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Absolutely an excuse.
Yeah, but betamethasone is an anti-inflammatory steroid, so that's, of course, the word steroid. That is what's throwing them all, in a tizzy.
Yeah.
But
Next
yeah,
time,
the
give
whole
your
the
horse-
whole the betting stuff, the sports betting on it is like freaking whacked out right now because they're trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, they basically have to wait until like the investigation is complete before, because I imagine what would happen. And now, if this is not me saying, this is what's going to happen, but what I would imagine is going to happen is anybody that placed a bet on Medina Spirit to win the Derby would be refunded their bet.
Yeah, but what
also,
about their payout?
I
Yeah.
imagine just be a
that's where
push.
it gets fuzzy.
Yeah,
'Cause
because like
can't-
I guarantee everyone cashed that out because they probably won good money on it.
Yeah, you can't force them to pay that back, can you?
See, I don't know.
I feel like
that-
legally they just need to let it go, take the L, and pay the people who would have won under the circumstances with the horse that came in second place. Like, just take the L on it because there was a lot of bets placed on that race. So there's no way that they're going to be able to get with every single person and get that money back and then pay out the new people. Like, it's going to be way too complicated. Like, it's something that should have been figured out sooner than now, but like,
Right.
Yeah, because the Preakness runs this week. So the Derby happened 2 weeks ago, come Saturday, and Medina Spirit is going to be racing in the Preakness.
How can he race in the Preakness if he failed his last drug test? I'm so confused by this. Nothing makes sense.
I don't know.
Well,
It's all confusing.
as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I'm aware, it would not be a horse race without a little controversy,
That's
like
true.
last year.
Yeah.
Or
Sure,
any
it
sport,
could.
really.
Yeah, Alex is right. Any sport would not be worth watching, talking about, listening to if there wasn't some kind of controversy.
True.
Oh, well, they'll figure it out or they won't. I did not actually put money in this year, so I have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I don't know how Churchill Downs would handle something like that.
Yeah, that's,
I don't think FanDuel allows horse betting
No.
we do not.
at any location, as far as I know.
Neither does Barstool or DraftKings.
So what the deal with that is Indiana law still requires sports betting to be like one entity and horse racing to be another. So if you had horse racing and sports betting on the same property, they have to be separated. Belterra specifically does not have the capacity nor the manpower to even warrant having a horse racing area. So, the thing we can best do is, we're affiliated with TVG. They can download the app as long as they are in the state of Indiana. They can bet on the ponies. But other than that, unfortunately, it's literally because of Indiana law that states that they are still two separate entities and must be bet on as such.
That makes
If
sense.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Let's go to Belterra Park.
Yeah. Just drive a half an hour. It'll be fine. I actually can't wait till Turfway reopens.
Oh, that's right. Turfway is closed for the remodel and everything.
Yeah. They should be starting to get that going here.
It was supposed to open sometime
Okay.
when the shutdown happened. And then that got pushed back.
Yeah,
Oh,
it all got pushed back because of COVID, but
Yay! Just
Yay,
one more
COVID.
one more tick in the COVID list.
yep.
Yep.
So, but as far as like how they would reconcile the bets with Medina Spirit and whichever horse was the second place one, it's basically everybody's waiting on pins and needles right now because they have to wait for the investigation to be completed. I mean,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
and I think they even have to wait until after the appeal because
They just have
Baffert
to do it all over.
Baffert is appealing not only his suspension, but the quote unquote positive test, as he's calling it. Let's see, there was someone else that weighed in on it.
All right. I have no idea.
It was Trump, so not important.
If it's someone out of the sports world, it's not relevant.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
I don't think anybody really, aside from covering the story that Baffert's been suspended, there's a positive doping, test done. That's really all we've got right now. We don't have much more. Let me see. I had the ESPN article brought up. Baffert has promised full transparency. Let's see. I think the Preakness is actually running on Sunday now instead of Saturday because of the investigation that they're doing into Medina Spirit. It says here the Maryland Jockey Club and Pimlico will decide on Medina Spirit's status in the Triple Crown Middle Jewel after reviewing all the facts.
Sounds complicated.
Yeah, it is. And Baffert's lawyer is already prepared to file a restraining order against Preakness officials to keep them from denying Medina Spirit entry into the race this weekend.
What? So he's going to get his horse a restraining order for... I'm confused.
Okay, so basically what the temporary restraining order does is it keeps the officials from saying, oh no, your horse is not allowed to race. So it still enables the horse to be able to be entered into the race, even if Baffert himself is not there.
Okay. But you can't fault the horse for human stupidity.
But then again,
it's not the horse's fault.
True.
I don't know.
But Baffert is not traveling to Maryland because he does not want to be a distraction for his jockeys or his horses. Which, I mean...
How many does he have?
Probably a lot, actually.
Yeah, he's one of the most famous trainers, and he usually has at least 2 to 4 horses entered that that train with him and his staff and everything like that. So far, there's going to be 2. You got Medina Spirit and Concert Tour. That would be listed under Baffert's training. The field for the Preakness will be drawn tomorrow. Apparently, this is not the first time that Baffert has had a horse that was tested for more than the legal amount of this specific anti-inflammatory. One of the fillies that raced in the Kentucky Oaks last year was disqualified.
Okay, so if it's becoming this big of a problem, why don't they just ban him from
Ever.
entering horses for a certain amount of time
Ever.
or forever? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure
He's
this
had his
guy's old
fame.
as shit, so
Yeah, he's had his fame. He's won 7 Kentucky Derbies, dude.
Yeah.
So, like, get rid of him.
Yeah, one would
I mean-
think it would be that easy, but with
the money and everything. So I get why, if not, they weren't able to do that.
yeah. But at the same time,
It's just
like, they're-
annoying. If it's become such a headache, like, you would want to, like, not have to go through this every single year. So fix the problem.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. This is the second year in a row that the same drug has popped up on a post-race drug test.
But
And
is it the same owner?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same one. It's Baffert.
Yeah, then that should be grounds right there.
He should definitely, like, be suspended from next year's Derby either way.
Agreed.
Start with that. And, if we can go problem-free next year's Derby, then be like, okay, then we had no problems. Let's just keep him going. Like,
Exactly.
he's just a rich
Because-
white old man. He's got enough money. Like, he'll be fine.
Yeah, agreed.
Did
Oh,
y'all
no.
see what Adam Thielen was saying about Lambeau Stadium or Lambeau Field?
Mm-mm.
Said, are you talking about Devontae Adams?
No.
Oh, because I
Adam
just got
Thielen.
something. Adam
Yeah,
Thielen.
I just sent you something. It was a tweet. He said
Let me just
the whole stadium is not nice. There's nothing fancy about it. It's like bleacher seats.
It kind of looks like it, honestly.
Well, I mean, it's one of the
It's-
oldest stadiums in the
It was built in the
NFL, so
1950s.
yeah, and it hasn't really had very many updates.
So
As much money as they fucking make off of it, they don't put any back into it. It seems like it.
right.
Well, Adam Schefter said Devontae Adams said he'd have to do some extra thinking if Aaron Rodgers left Green Bay.
Yep. I've got the headline right here. It says Adam's fate could potentially hinge on Rodgers.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I completely understand that. Just because it's like the whole Juju Smith-Schuster and Ben Roethlisberger thing. It's a very similar scenario. That's
Right.
the only reason Juju is staying there, because he was offered more money elsewhere, but Ben Roethlisberger came back and he's loyal to his team and whatnot. But like, it was Ben Roethlisberger. It was very obvious because he didn't make a decision until they re-signed him.
Right.
But he's also like 24. He's younger than I am, like 23 or 24, and he's the veteran wide receiver on their team. So, he's very influenced by what he knows. And Ben Roethlisberger, being his quarterback, is what he is the most familiar with. So it makes sense being such a young player.
I feel like that's fair.
Well, I don't think he felt like he was going to have the same freedom on other teams.
That too, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be a number 1 wide receiver in Pittsburgh. He will not be a number 1 wide receiver anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true. He'd be like a number 2 receiver.
He'd be a
Maybe
slot.
3.
Yeah, maybe
That's
3.
a lot.
Like, to be honest, he's only worth like number 2 at best.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Right. Why do I keep going yellow?
I don't
And-
know. Maybe because your shirt's yellow.
They said it was because of soft light.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Dad said
So-
soft light.
An overhead light on.
Oh, yeah. I guess I can do that.
You know, I'm gonna come. I have a bold prediction for the Steelers wide receiver core room.
Let's hear it.
I think Chase Claypool is gonna be receiver number 1.
Oh, definitely.
I
There's
think
no way.
he
Juju's just
probably-
not as good as Chase, honestly. Like, Chase proved himself as a rookie.
I can't stand
There
the
we
dude,
go.
though.
I mean, yeah,
No,
his attitude really pisses me off, but other than that,
I mean, he does have the talent, but he thinks he's so much better than what he is. That he's just,
that he's God. He's a walking God.
yeah.
After they lost in the wild card, I guess he had a whole stream on Instagram or something like that, just going over film.
I
like-
remember, yeah.
He was like, "Look, I made this guy jump." I'm like, "Yeah, that's a practice squad corner."
Yeah.
I mean, what? What do you expect?
He was doing like dumb shit, like just to make himself feel better, basically.
Yeah. It's like, cry me a river, build a bridge, and get the fuck over it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be Cincinnati, or not Cincinnati, Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. I do think, like, I'm not biased, but I do think in terms of as a whole, Cincinnati has the best wide receiving core, with Cleveland being a very close second. But I do think that Cleveland has just more maturity and experience on their team at this moment to
Mhm.
definitely
only
take the top spot.
My only issue
Oh,
was Cincinnati's
12
receiver.
to 1, top 8, 1 out, runners in scoring position.
Yeehaw.
My only issue with Cincinnati's receiver core is that they can't stay on the field.
That's true.
They're too injury prone.
That's
From
very
what I've
true.
seen.
I mean,
We
see.
don't know about Chase and Higgins. I feel like he's going to be okay.
Well, and then Tyler Boyd, he hasn't finished the season, I don't think.
That's true.
I don't know anybody else.
But like Dad said, Tyler Boyd's probably going to get moved to the slot this year, and so he did really well the last time he was in the slot.
Your tight ends can't stay healthy either.
Well, Uzoma was like, that was just horrible. Plus, we got Thaddeus Moss, and we don't even know how good he's going to be because, like, he did not play all of last year. So that's 50-50 right now, how well he's going to do.
Well,
Yeah.
so far, the biggest thing to his name is, well,
His name.
yeah,
He played
Yeah.
with Joe Burrow in
Randy
LSU.
Moss. That's the biggest thing to his name is Randy Moss.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that. And he played on Joe Burrow's championship team in college.
Yep. That
14 to
national-
1, top of the 8th.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ. I hope they do that every time they play Pittsburgh, seriously.
I feel bad for anybody that took the under in this game.
Oh yeah.
They should have known better. I feel like you can't even take the under with Reds teams anymore. I mean, there's been a couple games where they couldn't hit, but as a whole, like, they're like the best hitting team in the league.
Yeah, they're so far over the under right now.
Yeah,
It's
7.5. They've already doubled it.
Yeah. Let's see.
I was gonna say 6 feet, but yeah.
I'll bring up one of the sports betting apps that I've got right now, and I'll tell you what. Because I like to compare.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a lot of them are different. It's weird.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was about to say. It's funny. Because I'll go out when I'm at work and I'll go out and look at the FanDuel odds, and then I'll go down a break and pull up DraftKings, and I'm like, I don't remember it saying that, and I just get them confused.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think I've got the FanDuel app. Philip, can you?
Yeah, hold on.
That
Yeah,
sounds
I've got the
terrifying.
FanDuel app, so I'll tell you what the.
Moment of silence.
We all had the same look on our face. Like,
Okay, so right now the line on the game is Reds minus 12.5.
Damn.
The over-under is 16.
I mean, we all saw that Cubs game. 25 points scored in one game.
right?
Nutty.
What's that?
It was one of the fucking cats. Make
Cats
sure there's not
alarms.
one of the.
One of them like stuck behind something. Like,
I have
sounds like
no
they
idea.
knocked over like a bookshelf.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Is there one
Wait,
in there with the baby?
No. It was in the living room. I know that for a fact. Because I've got the monitor turned down to where you can't hear anything. So it was in the living room.
Weird.
Philip, shake the cat treats and see how many cats you get.
We did that earlier looking for our cat. Well, we only got one, so it's harder to find one than find a couple out of like 5.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about like fucking Rogue over there.
Yeah, it took us like an hour to find that cat.
Yeah, I believe it.
And he was literally in the one place that I didn't look.
Oh.
There he is. Meow.
Maybe that's what you heard.
No
Was he
idea.
in that like ball pit or something?
No,
It
I wouldn't
sounded
have
like
picked
you dropped a bunch of pots and pans
Yeah.
in a soup kitchen.
Just a kitchen.
But yeah,
Probably.
so they moved the line or the over under to 15.5, and that is on
All accounted for.
okay. That is from FanDuel. On MGM, the lines are locked. So I can't see nothing. That means something's going on right now.
I got this notification earlier, but it disappeared and I couldn't find it again. But Russell Westbrook broke Hall of Famer Oscar Robertson's career triple-double record against the Hawks.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet, honestly.
Yeah, I know he tied it the other day, and something happened to where he couldn't break it in that game, and so now let's see. What is trending?
Let's see. So on Barstool, right now the spread is the 1.5, and then the over under is 7.5.
Yeah, I was just looking at CBS, and they didn't change it.
Yeah.
Huh. Wonder what it is. Let me see. That's crazy that it's like so different from FanDuel.
Yeah. Well, I'll check DraftKings too. Because Barstool, I can't.
Yeah, I'm pulling
I can't even
MGM
bet
back
on it.
up.
Alex, what are you doing?
You know,
She's
usually
doing
works
that
better
like
from the other side.
ASMR thing.
Yeah. Get real close to it.
Carson Wentz is a bum.
Perfect. Love it. I don't know. Nothing of mine is loading. My service on my phone is terrible today. My Wi-Fi is terrible today. Everything is just horrible. So,
You can still signal.
Yeah,
is horrible.
MGM has lines
Like,
locked.
yeah.
I tried using data for just the longest time because the internet speed, Wi-Fi speed in the bedroom was just awful, and the cell speed was even worse.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yep. I feel that.
I feel that. All right. Well,
There's no reason for it to be that bad.
everything's being weird, but yeah, I think we gotta go pick Shelby's card up, and we got some things to do. So I think 3.5 hours is long enough today. I have completely
Especially
completely run out of
things.
things. Yeah, the internet's being weird, and everything. We've talked about it a lot today, so I feel like we covered enough bases to get us by till Thursday. But or whenever if something happens.
Right.
We should have a new card video out tomorrow, and there's gonna be the part 3 of my dad's IU transfer series, which is pretty cool. If either of you have watched either of the first two, he just does highlights and stuff before they get to Indiana. It's fun to watch. So if you guys want to check that out, he'll have that done probably by Friday.
Okay.
What? Hola. Tom Brady sucks. I don't know. I just had to think of something bad to say about Tom Brady, but that's all I had.
Gronk, you're fucking sick though.
Gronk, you're fucking sick though. I just want to play that like Attila song right now.
I'm back.
Bye everyone.
Good talk.
Good talk. Hi and bye. But yeah, so we'll have at least one video out tomorrow. The IU video should be out. I don't know. Dad's in charge of that whole series. I have no idea. Yeah. It's this week, and we'll be live Thursday and Monday. And if anything crazy happens, we might go live on off the cuff. Just random. So
right.
But if we do go live any other day, I'll send a message to you guys, and if you want to hang out, you can, or if you can hang out, you can. You're more than welcome.
Right.
We'll figure it out. It's been a long couple weeks, so
yeah.
We're just playing by ear at this point. What? Hello. Goodbye.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So that's all I have.
All right. Well,
see you guys next time.
See ya.
Boots.
I'll see ya.